Hello. Hey, Rue, we're live.
Hello.
Rue, I'll show you something right here real quick.
Okay.
And I'll show you guys too, even though there's no one here right now.
I saw this already.
Yeah, but it's awesome. What is making that Godzilla noise? It's my new car horn. That's the best. That's my car horn. My car horn is now Godzilla.
And you can change it to be different sounds too, can't you?
It's no, this one is just Godzilla.
Just Godzilla.
Yeah, it's right. It's mounted right in here. So my car horn is now Godzilla. It makes me so happy. Oh my goodness. I got that for Christmas. I got the car horn from Christmas for Shannon, from Shannon, and now she regrets it. But I just got it installed today, so there is that.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, best car horn ever. Hi everybody. Now I'm going to set you guys up on the interwebs. I mean, yeah. There we go. You're charging.
Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Wow, that was.
Don't be weird, Rue. Don't be weird. They're just trying to. Just trying. You're being weird again, Rue. What are you doing?
I'm not real. I'm reading comments.
Yeah, but when you read comments, you know what it looks like up here?
It looks like
You see a guy getting it across the doing Okay.
Okay, I'll just stand over here and read comments then. It does look creepy, I guess. You're totally right.
Hey, hey, hey. Yes, cool Godzilla car horn. Yes, it is cool. I too think it's epic. That is awesome. That does make me happy. The car horn makes me ridiculous happy. That's right, they're going to run up the streets with wheelbarrows full of stuff while screaming. That's what they do in Godzilla movies. Hi, everybody. Hello, and we're set. Yeah. Yeah, they called that to the college. Okay. So tonight, we're going to mold a murder hornet, and we're going to mold, I think I'm molding the goat. Molding up the goat. Oh, I did make some teeth for Merman. So I have some very simple Merman teeths right here. Rah. That lower jaw, upper jaw. I think those will look nice in place. I did a silicone mold the exact same way I did it for the YouTube video, and made some teeth today. Because all that stuff was normal. Rodney, I'm excited for your mold. That's a good-looking skull you made, sir.
Yeah.
What do I need to mold things? Well, I need some space. We gotta clean the space. So all the sculpting tools, put them on top of that holder. Merman, I will merlocate to another merlocation.
Have you ever worked for an effects company before? This one?
This is an effects company. Yeah, I mean that's what we do. So, thanks. Yeah. Yeah. That's like going to the bank and telling the teller, hey, you should consider working for a bank. You know, I hear they make good money and stuff. What did you mean? What did you mean? Because this made that's what we do here.
I have come. You may rejoice.
Hooray, cowboys!
How long do you wait after you wash out your mold?
I'd rather not wait too long. I mean, I want the mold to be fully cured, so I will power wash it about 2 hours after I'm done molding it. About 2 hours after that last batch kicks off. Let the plaster get hot, let it cool down, pick out most of the clay. You're probably ready to power wash. Okay. Yes. Well, new person who is no doubt awesome. Yeah, I mean that's what we do. We do special effects, costumes for haunted attractions. I don't do them for movies. I'm not a fan of the movie industry or the way things are done. That's all.
Ditto.
I decided very early in life that I was going to be a haunted house person, so I'm a haunted house person, which kind of means I'm not a movie person. Kind of like you could be an actor and you could be a theater actor, or you could be a movie actor. You could do both.
Patrick Stewart's done it fine.
That's right.
Hugh Jackman.
Okay, you like having Rue around because he puts Alan in the best mood. I don't know about that. Why I'm giddy right now is my new car horn. Most people the ones who were on early got to hear my new car horn, which makes me, I had the horn replaced in the van, which makes me very excited. Enigma! Yes. Yeah. So my car horn now sounds like Godzilla roaring. Maybe later I'll show you guys that. Again. Oh, it's Godzilla. It's like Godzilla's roar.
Ellen does love having somebody around that you can pick on.
Yeah.
Also,
pick on your
so
face.
maybe that's part of it, but
I would enjoy the wolf howl, but the Godzilla was just too iconic for me not to do. Yeah, pretty amazing. All right, let me. I now have the wife is walking over. Hooray! Are you here for comments, wife?
Here.
Awesome. I'm getting out of your way. A spot for wife.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
It's impossible not to say it.
Welcome to Alan's Soda Emporium. I do drink a lot of beverages, but see, all right, what you don't understand is that this is my drink. This is Rue's drink.
this is also Rue's drink.
This is my soda drink. This is my flavored water drink. So I have two active beverages right now.
This is wife's drink.
And wife had to drink too. See, this is wife's drink. Right there. Yeah. Yeah. You would drink too if you were married to me. That is the
That
honest
is so true.
that is the honest truth of all of it. Okay.
It's happy hour, my darlings.
I'm about to pick up and move a merman.
So did they like your porn? Because I could hear you.
They did like my horn. Not everyone got to hear it, so I'll have to do it again. I'm going to do it again at midnight.
No, you're not.
Neighbors love it.
It's terrible. What was I thinking?
You got it for me.
I did.
All these popsicle sticks that are tools.
They're tools. Those are important. Those are expensive. been getting lots of pouring done the past couple days, and getting ready for a big push this weekend. And I think I'll be almost caught up by the end of the weekend on everything. Sculpting tool. Sculpting tool.
So I was figuring we might actually be using.
We will use this. So yeah, you guys all logged on to watch me clean a table. Ha ha! I guess you guys want the satisfaction of having the table in the shop that we're cleaning off. The horn is a digital file player. That is correct.
What is the tattoo on Rue's neck?
It's one he got in prison.
Rue has never been to prison. Don't listen to Al. I have a devil on one side and I have a $sign on the other because my son's name is Cash.
Hey, Cash. Just like the $sign tattoo you might get if you were in prison.
It is nothing like the $sign tattoo you would get in prison because mine's done well.
I am being asked to show my shirt. So.
I'm sure there's some quality tattoo people in prison.
Oh, there are.
This is the original Walt
There
Purchase
are
Knot shirt.
good tattooers. There's
So
just
you can
terrible
see the
equipment,
witch
and
has
there's
got
nobody
has got a guitar. Gotta love that. And then this was our Walt Purchase Knot design, which was the haunted house we did that was a musical. So really cool. Do you see? Woo! Very cool. Musical haunted house? Yes. And I loved it. It was like a haunted Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
It was beautiful.
I never got to see it.
Oh, it was so good. It was
A little
so good.
disappointed.
So, honey, story time can be what Walt Purchase Knocked the show was like.
Oh my gosh.
You
And,
could tell about
and
that.
the night gallery. I will. Okay. So we have that right here. It was beautiful. Did Alan sing in it?
No, I scared people.
Is there an easy way to demold gloves? Mine are giving me problems.
Gloves are super pain in the butt. It depends on where you made your mold wall. If you did your mold wall straight down in between all the fingers, then normally you lift off the back of the mold, you free the back of the mold, and then you're able to get this part out a lot easier. But the back of the hand has less detail most of the time, and you're able to take the back of the mold off first, and then you have more range and flexibility to pull the glove out of the mold.
Rodney says you make the mold process look way easier than it is.
That's my job. It makes stuff look easy. If I didn't make it look easy, some people would never do it.
You'll get it at Monster Cap, Rodney. Sing your part, Shannon. What part? Hi, Scott. What am I singing?
Oh, Sweet Caroline. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh. My
The
last
times
name
never
is Cash.
felt so good.
PM Cash says, my last name is Cash. I've been told that all my life.
I know.
It's
There are
hard to get a
worse things
hold.
to be called.
It's hard to get a hold of hand armatures. Not too much to mold.
Oh, yes. I can help you with that.
This is a rubber, right?
Yes, that's a rub out. It could go there or it could go over there with the paint. Hand armature, let me help you out.
Michael and Ezekiel, I love you. I'm not singing the final countdown, and nothing you can do can make me do it. So,
The
enjoy.
easy way to make an armature for sculpting gloves. I'm going to answer so many questions, I'm not going to get to making a mold. I'll get there. All right, so these are like the big, thick electrician's gloves they sell at Harbor Freight. I heated up monster clay in a crock pot. Monster clay. And then you just pour it into the glove. And then you can shape the hand any way that you want because you Yeah. And then I sculpt on top of this. I take the glove off, obviously. I sculpt on top of this with water-based clay. But this is my hand form for sculpting. So obviously, it's going to be a little thicker in the wrist than you want, so just shave it down. But it's a monster clay support. You can put like coat hanger wire in there if you want, while your fingers are all melty and stuff. But high five, go make some hands.
Rodney says, my wife was sweating along with me on the demold process.
Yeah, it can be a little tricky.
Horror Beauty says, I may not make it to Monster Camp. Our governor extended our date again.
Oh no! Well,
it's all right, Horror Beauty.
what was it extended to? Yeah, because we may be adding more monster camps this year. I have to talk to my advisor.
What was my title that you took from Ezekiel?
Oh, I stole Ezekiel's title for his wife, the Minister of War and Finance.
War and finance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about right.
Horror Beauty, Monster Camp is going to go on. It's just going to take a while for things to settle. Have faith.
Few more. A little T-pin.
The Hops musical, the final countdown will be in there somewhere. Ezekiel says, I can sample you saying it, a final countdown, to make it sound like you assessing. You can, Ezekiel, and that's the
Then you run it through auto-tune.
That's the closest you'll get. But you go ahead. Make yourself happy.
She refuses to give in.
Taurus.
All right, so are we going to? Yeah, we are.
The table got a lot bigger with this cleaning.
It does. Yeah. I have like a plan.
No, Michael, you can't.
There's going to be like a bonus for shop helpers. They get an extra $1 for every tabletop surface that is clean when they leave. So that could be $14 extra like for the day's work. Boom. That's like a good lunch at Jack in the Box.
A good lunch at Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jack in the Box, I ate Jack in the Box when I got home
Yes.
last night. I was up all night.
You had a bad lunch at Jack in the Box.
What did you have?
Seriously upset stomach. I had the sourdough or grilled cheese sourdough munchie meal. So it's 2 grilled cheeses with a burger in between them.
You had a regret a burger.
Yeah, and yeah, and 2 tacos, which I think the tacos are what really.
No, tacos saved you. Sourdough.
Without those tacos, you would have died.
The tacos saved you. Those tacos are heaven. Sweet Alan Hops. Bum bum bum. Watching you sculpt never seemed so good. So good, so good, so good.
You guys are having too much fun.
Oh my gosh, you're so wound up tonight.
Wasn't impressed.
Rodney
So,
Pope says, I'd love to do the life sculpt if y'all do one. The life sculpt.
just getting it free.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was just kidding.
The life casting class. And then if you kick it to the side, then you can, like, this side is, do this? Okay. Is this one of those, I know how to do this, and then I turn around and you screw it up? Or is this one of those, I really actually know how to do this? Okay. I gotta check. Way to move to the middle of the table.
I didn't know, are we doing one at a time? Or are we...
No, I don't do nothing one at a time. We got stuff to do.
Harvey says that it's moved to July, but she probably will extend it to fall. I will make it at some point to Monster Camp. Yeah. Harvey, Monster Camp may be on hiatus for a bit itself. We're waiting to see how things are going, but we'll figure out a way.
We're not gonna stop doing them.
Michigan is ridiculous right now. People hate your governor. Hugo, what a brilliant idea to use gloves as a template.
You know what? It's a good thick glove. I was kind of racking my brain of how I did it, and I'm like, well, if I just had a silicone mold of a hand, I could just pour monster clay in there. And I'm like, well, I could just get a big old glove of a hand, and that works pretty good. I've done that several times, and now I just kind of keep those hand armatures around.
I actually made some armatures just like that, only I filled the gloves with plaster.
Yeah.
The brittle though, I've broken fingers off on a few of them. Had to re-glue them back on. But it does work.
No. That go.
Ezekiel says, I was amusing myself yesterday afternoon playing guitar and singing Old MacDonald.
Oh, MacDonald.
Amusing, but so wrong. Ezekiel,
Old Big Fondle.
That was last night.
If only Carl was still around, he would enjoy that way more than I actually did.
Ross said, don't rob it, Rue. You know, Rob does not watch any of your live feeds. He has no idea how
He has
much
no idea how much people miss him because they mention him all the time.
or diss him.
You were saying
I
that.
have an idea of that. I'm going to do a little bit of touch up of my eye bags. Rue knocked out one more coat of pledge on that guy. They grabbed the Vaseline about 3 inches around his base.
Sure.
There's a video of you pouring those loves using Shannon's crock pot.
Now it's my crock pot.
Yeah, Michael, I actually donated that one because I have no shortage of crock pots.
Way to call him out in front of Shannon though.
Oh, he lives for that.
Yeah, Michael likes to call out Alan and any way he can try and get that Europe song.
That Europe song.
I don't know why he's obsessed with this, but okay.
Armatures.
He's great. He's obsessed with it, as far as I'm concerned. No.
I do really enjoy the lyrics that they come up with on it.
Old MacDonald had a farm, eat eyes, toes.
Toes, yes.
Did y'all do this last time?
Yeah.
Eyes eat eyes nose.
Yeah,
Is it toes now?
Car
Toes.
Beauty says, I missed a couple of videos and just getting back online. Wow, the goat and hornet came along well.
Hey, thanks.
I bet.
Thank you.
Car Beauty, did you get the names?
Yeah, this is Capricorn, and that is Full Murder Jacket.
Yeah, for murder jacket.
Were you able
Or
to
if the
ship
red,
out?
red version, raven.
Were you able to ship out orders this week? We did get some, Warren. Your pumpkin is curing,
Yes.
so we're waiting on sending your Heptaron so we can send it with the pumpkin. And Alan has something special for you.
I do.
You do.
All right, so while I'm doing this, let me actually, you guys just reminded me I have to go flip over the beast man I got poured
I
up.
missed it. Why no ears on the go?
I'm going to do them in EVA afterwards. That's how I normally do ears. It gives me a lot more options, and it makes for a smaller mold. And a smaller mold means it's easier to pour, and it means storage. Because while the ear parts are not that big, the amount of plaster you need to support said ears is pretty substantial.
The table gets clean like that. You just look at them and now look at all together at the same time.
It's like, oh, that won't last.
There we go.
There's no, I'll tell you what. Before you start
Ta-da!
Just kept getting farther and farther out.
I didn't want it to slow me down, so I would take 4 paint cans and I would put it on the corner of each corner of the table, and then I would put a new piece of plywood just over all the crap that was on the table. That's how I cleaned the table.
And my hair would burst into flames.
And then the table got so high from having milk can piles built on it that I had to have milk crates on the floor in order to
I'll show you the pictures sometime.
work on the table.
What did you
Yeah.
You're terrible.
It was amazing.
I got-
Chad Smith says I have a bit of a strange question. I'll wait to hear what Chad's question.
Oh my, hit me, Chad.
Yes, we have an Instagram, Sylvie Studios, easy to find. Good evening, Brandon D. Ezekiel says, I have been thinking a lot about McDonald's too. I might be stealing some elements of Rico Mexico. So good.
No problem. And I think it's probably been long enough when not as many people are going to be upset about McDonald's. 'Cause boy, when we did it in 1994, we had some press.
Chad Smith says, I'm trying to gauge how my sculpting is coming along, how close I am in my skill level to be considered by you to carry something I sculpt. I'm not asking you to, just curious about my abilities.
I'd say you're pretty close to there. That last project you did, I mean, I remember the first couple things that you brought me to show me your sculptures. You've come so far since then. It's obvious that you're learning and you're taking things in and you're learning. I mean, that's obvious. You're getting much better.
Have you shown them what tool you're using right now?
What I'm using right now is a ridiculously long-handled, just a silicone tool, and I'm putting some texture on the goat's muzzle. And basically, I didn't like all this smooth skin, and I'm going to go in with a brush and I'll knock this down. I'm just taking this, and I'm like Tourette'sing it by shaking my hand really good.
Brandon D says, well, not doing a mask sculpt.
Hang on, I'm not Tourette'ing it, I'm finessing it. I don't even know where that word came from.
I was like,
What happened in here last time?
I don't know where that word came from.
While not doing a mask sculpt, I will be sculpting with clay next week with friends. Any suggestions to make little things like 6-inch sculpts?
I would do gargoyles. Do like some nice fun gargoyles that are going to be nice paperweights type thing. Or make business card holders so they have their hands out. They can hold business cards for you. That way down the road you can easily make them. Sure, man, somebody moved all my sculpting tools all the way over here. Trying to get work done, you gotta get up, get your tools. Hee hee.
So much I can say. Hugo says, I'm happy to see the mold of Mr. Rue's sculpture. The claws need attention, right, Alan?
Hold on.
when mold. I think he means
That's Hugo.
I don't think they look bad. You mean need attention as in need more work? Or
No.
how are we going to handle molding them? It's just going to be a one-piece mold. We're gonna do it. We're gonna knock it out. It's gonna be easy. You're gonna love it. You'll laugh. You'll cry. It's better than cats. And this just gives me a different texture.
Hello, weird
That
kid.
cracks. I'm gonna take care of it.
Say hi to weird kid.
Hello, weird kid.
Candlestick says, and on that farm he had a goat, 3 eyes, beady eyes, furrows. Oh my God, got these. Ooh, cobwebs! Doesn't your video launch tomorrow on your megalodam? Or I know you call it Quint. Isn't that? Do I have that right? I think you're tomorrow. Weird Kid says, that goat would go good with some mint sauce. Ever seen the movie Black Sheep? I think it was a Kiwi film, maybe even Austrian.
I think it was a New Zealand horror film. Yes, I have seen Black Sheep.
It's so
I'm looking forward to that, Cobwebs and Candlesticks.
You mispronounced awesome, Rue.
bad. So
That is going to be
Miss-
fun.
Pronounced awesome.
the entire movie is a chase scene, which was
Alan Toretta's sculpture, that is entertainment, that would be interesting.
I don't know why I said that. Like, what was going on in like other layers of my head?
What's the lifespan of your latex when you leave them in your shop?
Of a 5-gallon bucket? If
that's when we leave it in the shop.
I mean years. I mean they're fine. They hang out nicely.
Brandon says, good idea, this is talking about the small sculpted clay. I was more meaning to ask about what types of clay. I had a 10-pound block of nature clay, air dried, I guess is what it is.
I would not go with an air dry clay. That's going to crack on you and actually dry out faster than water-based will. Are these things you want to mold, or is this just mess around with some buddies? Okay. I just wanted a little more texture in here. It felt very much like planes, and I didn't want the Great Plains there. All this I'm pretty happy with, and I know that hair is going to cover almost all of this. Okay, I'm happy with that.
Is Mr. Moody's sculpture, will the claws be wrapped in plaster and will it not be difficult to remove the mold in 2 parts?
We're just going to do one-piece mold on it. Those claws are just clay. So they taper. They're fatter at the base and they kind of go down to a point. So it's not like there's a bulb at the end where we have to reach in with a tool and get that clay out. It should not be too hard to get those out. This could be one of those famous last word moments. But no, it shouldn't be that bad because they're so tapered. And honestly, if you look at them, it's actually, they're not even that curved. You can run a tool straight down in there and get almost to the very end. You know, straight. Because this is going to be negative space. All of that is going to be a hole, and you can go straight into there to get all of that clay out.
The only thing that might kind of bank for a pain are going to be the ridges on the inside.
Now, you have plenty of room. You have plenty of room. Because they're also thick.
We'll be able to get it.
If you look at them from this way, they're thicker down here, and then they get tapered down towards the end. There's plenty of room.
Good.
D-U-N. Done.
Vaseline.
Brandon says, just sculpt because I have no experience with clay. I just had it lying around.
Then the air dry stuff will probably be fine. Just understand you might need to keep it a little bit moister because its goal is to dry out. That's what it wants to do. So just keep it from doing that. You're good.
Weird Kid says, can you mold air dry clay?
You can. You can mold air dry clay. Yes. Brew, why don't you just ask?
Okay, where's the Vaseline?
Top left drawer, molding table.
There we go.
I can tell he's wandering around looking for Vaseline.
Yeah.
He had that I need Vaseline look.
Oh gosh. Ezekiel says, and singing that song will require some practice on my behalf. I have some great samples of Alan and Sharon's head.
Uh-oh.
Brandon says, I would love to make some twisted face medallions.
Yeah, I mean, what I would use for something like that is just some kind of like aroma plastilina clay, any clay that is oil-based. That's what you probably want to go with, a little preferred. Simply because small sculptures, you have small things like a finger on a 6-inch figure is going to dry out really fast. So when you're sculpting and when you're blocking it out, do your big chunks first and save those little details for last.
Brandon says, thanks, this gives me hope. Are you doing some form of dental plate on the goat teeth?
Yes, what I did was I sculpted in ridges that I can glue the actual teeth into. I have them set back so that the teeth will take up a natural amount of space, and I'll be able to glue a latex strip of teeth right to that.
Alan, I have that same can of pledge. Is water-based or even oil-based clay still reusable after you seal it and whistle.
Yes, it is. It is still usable.
Can you mold plastina clay?
Yes.
Plastilina clay.
Yes, you can. That's what they used to use a lot before the effects industry went to silicone. The problem with some of the old Roma plastilina clay is that it had sulfur in it, and sulfur will stop. It'll stop platinum pure silicone from curing.
Weird Kid said, Brandon, sculpting is great. Sculpting is great for stuff like that because you can bake it and keep it or even mold it after. With
That's
polymer, you
correct.
need to use baby oil or clay softener, not water.
Correct.
Brandon says, has anyone seen the old thing in a jar? Sure, that is Brandon.
I've seen
Lots of things.
I've seen the new thing in a jar. I've seen the old thing in a jar. Weird Kid just made like a thing in an aquarium a while ago, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, Cobwebs, on my YouTube notifications, it shows your thumbnail in Word Premiere, which I looked and saw that it was going to launch on Friday. So I was, I was excited because I wanted to see what you thought.
In those eyes, make sure you hit those with Vaseline.
Brandon D
I've
says
actually
those are
made
Sculpting based. Cobweb says I've had great success molding Sculpting base.
Cool.
Jack Smith says I look forward to seeing the process on the teeth when we get into that.
I'm just going to make a mask for him that I glue on. That's all it is.
Logan K says silicone is picky.
Silicone is just trickier than latex is. You know, if latex has an opportunity, it'll dry up on you.
It's funny because I've actually done more silicone stuff than I have
Latex?
latex stuff.
Really?
Well, in some ways, it's actually easier, and it's less messy.
I started with silicone. Man, that looks terrible. But I'm ready to go.
Oh, you've got to play off all this.
Play it off.
Play off. Build the play up to here, and then ramp the play down.
Okay.
Weird Kid says, Alan,
Easy.
next year when I work out coming from Monster Camp, if I came a day early, could I possibly work a day for free as a character at Dark Hour?
That is quite possible.
Dark Hour is
Oh,
open.
Yeah, if Dark Hour's open, yeah, I
If
mean,
Dark Hour is open, we won't be having Monster Camp.
What was I thinking? Of course I got it for you.
Are you, are you open to
Just hitting the block.
Are you open to a commission? If so, I'd like to buy a two-piece mold of the armature you are using so I can make some masks.
no. That would be theft. Here's why. I did not produce this armature. This armature is an Ed head. So an Ed head, you could just buy from Monster Makers. That's a great armature for making full masks. If I made a mold of this, then I'm stealing and copying their work and selling it to someone else. So I can't do that. There are lots of good companies out there who sell armatures. CFX sells one. Monster Maker sells them. Biddy Mold Supply sells them. Asylum Props sells them. So I will sell them in the future, but I will sell my own, ones that I made. I cannot replicate someone else's work to sell it to you. That's theft. And a lot of people just don't know that. They don't understand. But just like it's a copyright infringement for you to use someone's artwork without their permission, well, making a mold of someone else's work is another way of stealing it.
Weird Kid says he would like to be in a biocontainment center chamber with an alien in it, and he has his own insurance.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it, Cobwebs. It's going to be awesome. I am excited to see. Did you guys ever decide on it? Hi, Hallie.
Hi, who?
Hallie.
Oh, hi, Howard.
Did you guys ever decide on a name for the goat man?
We did. It is Capricorn. Like it's Capricorn, but it's scored. It's like angry. Good. Yeah. How's this view? Can you guys see both of us okay? Well, right now I was in the way, but other than that.
Goodness, Cobwebs. Cobwebs, I hope you're doing okay. He says, I have to be at the hospital at noon for a tube up the nose and down into my stomach. I can't wait. I'm lying.
Woo! That's awesome.
Oh, goodness. You be well. Let us know how you're doing.
You're gonna be a science project. That's cool.
Hi, Jerry. Jerry, I've got news on the shirts, actually. We've got, let me check real quick on your question. I can get you an answer here in just a second. The green shirts, guys, I've been floored with your response on these green shirts. Because I have a lot of times that people will say, yeah, I'd love that, and then you get it, and they don't necessarily sell.
Then they don't love it.
And
What the heck?
I gotta tell you, you guys so surprised me. You really surprised me with the green shirts. You just ate them alive. Very proud, but so surprised. Hang on just a second, I'll let you know. Yes, okay, Jerry, it looks like we have 4 left in inventory, but we're still gonna order more because the response has been so good.
So good! So good!
So you go ahead and order. And I'm going to go ahead and let you guys know, Warren, I think you or someone, Big Dog was someone who asked about it, but news on the shirts, news on the green shirts. We are going to go ahead and do a reorder because, and we're picking up shirts this weekend, and we'll start sending them out next week. But then we're already doing a reorder because like the XL is sold out and so it really has done well. And all goes well on this next order, we're going to have 4X and 5X available as well. So I know we've got some folks who wanted some sizes that were larger than 3X, and it's looking really good. I'm going to verify that with our printer, but 2 weeks ago there was just a flat out no. So there's a really good chance we're going to have 4X and 5X along with all the regular sizes. So I hope that helps some of our folks who wanted some larger sizes. I will have an update on that as usual, so just stand by on that.
Okay, so we're molding 2 types of masks here. What Rue has is the half mask form, and what I have is a full head form. I'm making a full head mask. So Rue is not going to have any kind of a clay wall. He's just going to pile it up and let it dribble around a little bit. I need to do a clay wall so that I can divide my sculpture, and so that I can remember that I always mold the back of the head first. It's so unaesthetically pleasing to look at the back of the head. I just don't think of starting that way.
Cobweb says, I have a hiatal hernia, so I have to have this test for the operation to stop my acid reflux. Goodness, sir.
That's awesome.
I had one of those.
Goodness, sir. You hang in there. Did you have surgery for it, Ray?
I did.
Oh, gracious.
They gave me my hiatal hernia
No.
when I had my intestinal resection.
No.
Because
Oh,
when
no.
they pulled all my intestines out, they
pulled
pulled
too hard.
somewhere they weren't supposed to pull.
That's making...
So I had to sit a year to heal from the intestinal resection before I could have the surgery on the hernia too.
Rue's made of plastic.
I'm horrified.
Who has stomach issues?
You probably should have gone to Jack in the Box.
Well, you know.
Good callback, wife. Good callback.
Rodney says, after using my Ed head, I need one like Ruse sculpted on for a half mask. I don't think I'll be doing a full mask for a while. It's Rodney.
Now, I do offer a half mask head form, but I don't ship it. I take it to shows with me, but even then, it's all ordered in advance. It's not like I bring 30 at this point.
But Rodney, aren't you picking up your order?
Yeah, if you want, we can add a half mask head form. They're 60. What I like about them is they go all the way. You can just make an easy bucket mold.
Let us know. Let us know, Rodney. Oh God, Cobweb says, I'm going to ask to keep the tube. Huh, terrible. I hope it's clear.
That's grosser than it needs to
Oh
be.
no.
I
You guys are wrong.
I'm supposed to be getting a new
You want them?
blockhead. That toy for my human blockhead hack stuff. It's blacklight reactive, so when I can do my human blockhead with the blacklight reactive giant nail, and then put a UV flashlight in my mouth, and the end will glow off of the nail.
No.
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 You want to see that?
No.
Rube chooses his own hobbies.
Boy, yes. Nobody else does it. Alan, those Spirit Halloween animatronic figures use this thick yet flexible wire for the arms. Do you know a good substitute for that? Is that what you use?
Ceiling hanger wire. Ceiling hanger wire. Yeah.
Fence wire.
Well, the chain link fence wire is much more stiff.
Yeah.
It's much more stout.
Takes a lot of work to bend the chain link fence wire, but you can also hang more weight off.
Good job, Cobwebs. The XL was the first thing to sell out. I was really surprised. Great job on that, but we'll get more. It's just temporary.
Okay.
Hello, Gregory Haynes.
You guys can't see it, but my dog has decided he wants to be right here in between me and the table.
Hello, Vin the Butcher. It's because you need to be.
Hi, Ben.
Vindabucha.
Weird kid, another question. Would the male styrofoam heads from Hobby Lobby work to sculpt on for a molding later?
Once.
If you really bulk them up with clay, because they're small, they're not human head sized. So you're going to have to really bulk them up. Run a sewing measuring tape around your forehead. Run it around, around this way, around your head, and then check it against that. You'll be surprised at how small those actually are.
Now is the time I tell you that Ezekiel is sending me kitten videos.
Ezekiel, she is working. Like right now, I'm trying to get her to do stuff.
So awesome.
She has to read. People have questions,
I have to.
and they deserve answers.
I've got to get to Australia. I have to get there.
You have to get there for a kitten.
For a kid. Oh, this is no ordinary kitten.
This is no ordinary.
This is no ordinary kitten. This is spooky, and my love is true. Okay, Enigma, out of all the works you've ever been commissioned for, what is the creature you've had to sculpt to make the most?
So I have done a lot of werewolves, like a lot of werewolves. And the reason why is I like werewolves, so I'll make something werewolfy and cool, and then someone will say, "Ooh, I want you to make me a werewolf. Like, I can make you one of these." And they're like, "No, I want you to make me my own." So then I make another one, and then I make another one. I've probably done 30 different werewolves on commission. Probably 30, wolfmen and werewolves.
Spastic Puck says, been trying to write a story. What's a story about Spastic Puck? Are you using the same clay for the mold wall as the sculpt?
I am. Yes.
Not used to seeing you without a hat.
Rodney Pope would like to
Where's that hat shop?
order. Rodney, was that a half
Half-mass sculpting form.
Rodney, will you send me an email so that when we're done tonight, we can add you to it? There's a lot of things coming in from different places. Send an email asking for that so I can add that to your order. To your shelf, Rodney. You have a shelf. You don't have a box. You have a shelf. Rue, what is the handkerchief for bandana? Tell the story.
This one is
I can't see.
jack-o'-lantern.
But what's the purpose? You always have one.
I always have a bandana or a handkerchief. Because nobody seems to realize I use this every day for cleaning things up. Every day. Easily.
Always have one in your back pocket.
Always have one.
Only someone would invent something that like comes on a roll and you can use it to clean stuff.
So wrong.
Only someone would invent that.
Not
Do you
used-
carry it around with you
That'd be
everywhere you go, though?
What is it? Not used to seeing Rue without a hat. I heard you say that.
I don't always assume that I'm going to be cleaning stuff everywhere I go.
I don't either. But sometimes I end up having to.
Chad says, is Rodney the one that has ordered one of everything? So jealous.
Pretty much.
Rodney has a shelf, and we just keep adding to it. And Body Geeks did the same thing, actually. We just finally just gave him his whole shelf. Saying hello to the dogs. Are there other ways to make a mold wall? I don't have that much clay, but I could buy more.
There are other ways. You can use a shim technique where you use plastic or metal shims to stab into the sculpture and do it.
You know what I actually like?
What's that?
Playing cards.
I have used plastic playing cards, some people do that. I have also, just like I'm sticking Q-tips in to hold this, in dire straits, I stick Q-tips in all over in that line, and then I masking tape together. And that gives you a solid enough wall where you can paint up the plaster, and that's a mold wall. But it's better just use clay.
Ezekiel says, sorry, Spooky wanted to say hi.
What you can do and what you should do sometimes are different.
Ooh, still be studios bandanas would be pretty cool.
Ooh, noted. What a good
Especially since
idea.
they could be used as masks also. Psycho Hacks Man does not have one of the still pieces.
Sorry, Cat.
He is an enthusiastic contributor, we'll call him.
Who's that?
Psycho Axeman.
Oh, Psycho. Is he on?
No. So,
I don't see him.
Rodney said that Psycho Axeman is half owner of Still Piece
Oh
now.
my gosh. He's something else. Spastic Pug says, I'm trying to write out one of my satirical film ideas. I do a lot of screenplays I hardly use. Very cool.
Cool.
Made a
Brandon D.
nude version of a werewolf.
Have you made a nude version of any werewolves or others? The texture on the Capra score looks so cool. I could imagine a burned, singed mask. So he's talking sans fur. Nude.
Oh, a nude werewolf.
A hairless werewolf.
Yeah, we're not that kind of a channel. It's possible. I'm not necessarily huge. Like a lot of people will do like a midway transformed werewolf where he's half transformed. I don't know. I just like monster type monsters. Although I did see, I watched a horror-ish movie the other day called Monstrum, and it's either on Shudder or it's on Netflix. I forget which one. And it's Chinese, so there's no English in it. It's all subtitles. But the monster had the plague and gave people like some kind of a plague. And he had all these like cancerous boils and stuff on him. He looked really cool. So that might be a possibility.
Oh, go ahead.
Which way is hot on this thing?
Do we have?
You have to go to the bathroom. You turn off the water, go to the bathroom. There is a outlet that is tripped, a GFCI. Turn on, reset that outlet, and then come to the sink and go left.
Okay. Left.
To the guy without clay, I'd also
This is
recommend.
not getting hot at all.
To the guy without clay, I'd also recommend using a box mold method. And instead of using clay, pour alginate into your halfway point. Pour your molding material on top and flip the mold on the other side.
And then tear away the alginate, Vaseline, and then do the other. You can do that. That is an option.
Chad Smith, okay, Shannon, are you going to do any stickers? I would love to have a couple to put on my toolbox. Chad,
There we go.
we have stickers now.
Medium.
They are small stickers, and I'll be happy to send some to you.
There will be some big stickers available soon.
I think big stickers and
Some
patches.
die-cut steel piece stickers.
Is your toolbox metal? There are magnets too.
Still, we've got good sized magnets, but honestly, the swag we have was supposed to be freebies to give away at Transworld, and so now it's going in all of the packages. But you guys are just eating it up, and it's such fun. So I'm thinking of some large stickers and some patches too. So I don't know if people want the patches, but I thought it would be good.
Rue, don't use that bucket. Use one of the smaller buckets.
Okay.
And only do about 2 fingers of water.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the smaller bucket?
Yes, in the smaller bucket. We're going to do smaller, more controlled batches because we want to make as light of a mold as possible. So I thought I would show this process a little bit. Yeah, that is a goodly amount, and right over here is the monster.
You want the bigger bucket?
No, I'm going to use a small bucket too.
Small bucket too.
Jeff Leach. I work for a hotel in Rock Island, Illinois. I got called into work while wearing my Sculpting Studio shirt. I got asked a bunch of questions by a pilot from Dallas, told about Dark Hour and YouTube. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you very much, Jeff. That's awesome.
Appreciate you sharing the info.
Yeah. Newman Brown. Have you ever made a mask or a prop you
Yes.
liked so much it's hard to let go?
No. Because
Not
I
for
can make another one.
Alan's gonna get it out of here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I want to go to your shop and see all the cool masks. Like, normally I don't have any because
Yeah.
I make it and I sell it or send it away.
Oh, Tammy, this is a great name. Tammy Whatever. That's her name. Tammy Whatever says, I love your videos. Because of you and your techniques, I have turned into a creepy doll creator.
Awesome.
You really have the best job ever. Hugs from Mesa, Arizona.
Hooray! Thank you.
I love baseball.
Tony Sosa, where do you buy the styrofoam head with shoulders like the one we're using now?
This isn't styrofoam, this is plastic. This happens to be an Ed head from Monster Makers, but Biddy Mold Supply also sells them, and their shipping is cheaper.
Weird Kid says, I love Asian horror. I have to be in the right frame of mind though, meaning I am too lazy to read subtitles.
A lot of times I don't want a movie on in the shop that I'm going to be engaged in, so I just put on something to play in the background. I watched a documentary today on scary stories to tell in the dark. That was a good little thing I watched. But yeah, I mean, I put movies on all the time, but I don't intend to pay attention to. I don't necessarily even want to like them. I just want to have some monstery stuff on.
There's been lots of times in this shop where we've turned off movies because we want to actually watch
Yeah, it's
them.
like I want to watch this later, so I can't have this play right now.
Okay, the bandanas are getting a lot of love.
We can add bandanas very soon.
Bandanas might be a fun idea. A pumpkin man mask that you have can fit in a 7 by 5/8 head. Jerry Collins. Pumpkin man mask that you have can fit in a 7 to 5/8 head. Jerry,
I have about a 7 5/8 head, so
Glad
yeah.
you didn't have that.
Okay, so are you asking can it? Because I think Shannon read me a statement,
Did.
and I believe that
Brandon
you
says it is.
wanted it to be a question.
Brandon D. I put my magnets and my stickers on my toolbox. It's lime green from Vibrant. Perfect.
Sweet.
Enigma says, what creature
Make sure it
is
didn't
one of
happen.
the absolute hardest to sculpt, meaning the face?
I would say a likeness is the hardest, like a human likeness. And the only one other, I sculpted Abraham Lincoln once, and that was ridiculously hard.
Women. In
Oh
general.
yeah, female. Sculpting anything female and making it look feminine is difficult. There's such a subtle difference between a male and a female face, but holy moly, is it a difference?
Thank you, Scott Bohart. Chad Smith says, like my dad always says, everything is for sale at the right price. Enigma, shout out to the missus for reading and relying our inquiries. You're very welcome.
She is awesome that way. Very, very helpful.
Well, this keeps them clear to work, and it makes it just run smoothly. So tomorrow night, you guys will have Stacy.
Yes.
Because I am working tomorrow night, so Stacy will be here to read. Please stock custom back braces with your logo. I'll buy them all. That's awesome.
I too need custom back braces.
I could use them myself, actually.
So what I do is I have a nice thick wall, and then I'm using the Q-tips cut off. I cut them sharp, and that pins the wall in place.
Can you explain again where you get the mold that you're working on? This is for Tony Sosa. Tony, for you.
There's a place called Biddy Mold Supply, Brick in the Yard Mold Supply, online. And you can buy, this is an Ed Head sculpting bust. You can buy this online from them. Brick in the Yard, it could Scott, could you put on, Scott has already put up the link. Thank you, Scott.
You're the best.
Scott is a link dropping superhero.
He
Yeah,
is,
he is.
man. I like to think I'm fast. It's 91 people watching. Stephen Bishop says sold out. Are you saying at Biddy they're sold out, Stephen?
If that's the case, then go to monstermakers.com. Monstermakers.com.
Third Degree of Terror. Have you poured a beast mode mask yet?
That's what I flipped earlier today. I flipped it over, I'll be able to pull it out in the morning.
How long shall I let my skull mold dry before pouring latex in it?
If you want to be technical, a day. If you're excited, just give it a couple hours. Put a fan on it.
Yes, Stephen Bishop says Biddy is sold out of it.
Okay.
That's great. That's great. Biddy's doing well. How's your latex?
I might pick up a bucket when I'm out there tomorrow.
Because you'll be there tomorrow, and
I'll be nearby, yeah.
that would be smart. Do you know of any good eye company other than Fort Seal? Their eyes are a bit pricey.
All eyes are going to be a bit pricey, but Fort Seal is pretty pricey, but they make very nice eyes. These eyes are good. This pair of eyes from Van Dyke's Taxidermy, let me open them up. They're sealed on a card. These are going to go into a Frankenstein bust that I'm doing for someone. That's a pretty good eye.
Having a bad night. Oh, sure.
Yeah. So these are from Van Dyke's Taxidermy. They have what they call novelty eyes, but they look really good. And these eyes here, they're going to go in beast mode because I have a beast mode bust to make.
Third Degree says Amazon also sells head heads, and their shipping is slightly cheaper than direct from monster makers.
Cool.
Thanks,
Warren
Warren.
Crackers.
Yeah, Monster Makers does not have inexpensive shipping.
Cobweb says, I'd like to
Can I
see
get
two
crackers?
different eye colors for Frankenstein.
You can do that. That is always an option. No, not yet. A little bit more. That looks like mud. A little drier.
Much more crack, and then it's saturated.
Right. You got to kind of wait for that. Stare into the abyss of Rue's bucket.
Yay, bucket.
So Ruth, can you explain what you're doing?
I am going for a what's called a cracked earth texture in this plaster that I'm mixing together. It's when it looks like a dry lake bed because it'll have all these cracks into it. And I think we're pretty much there right now. It's just saturating right now still.
Do you have a link for the eyes?
I don't. As all of my, but it's Van Dyke's Taxidermy. VANDYKE''S Taxidermy. And then hit eyes, hit novelty eyes, and those are human eyes.
Hallie says, I also make eyes.
Hallie makes eyes. Buy all of your eyes from Hallie. You want me to
Ellie does make really cool eyes too.
Yes. Go to Hallie's Eyeball Emporium and purchase all of your eyeball needs.
Come on down.
Hallie, whip up some eyes to have some samples, and I will help you sell eyes because I get that question a lot.
That'd be awesome, Hallie. Great job.
And I don't want to make eyes.
Hallie is one of our actresses also at Dark Hour.
Yes, and makeup artists.
And a makeup artist.
She went to Tom Savini School.
She's They're talking about your new van.
Oh.
No, it's too
Hey,
loud.
honey, it's not that late yet.
It is late. It's too loud.
It's not that late. We're going to do it one time. We're going to listen. We're going to do the car horn one time. That's it. But we're going to do it. I got a new horn put in the van today. Look, that's my van.
What?
Perpetually 12.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy. Yeah. Anyway. So good. So good.
How deep is that ultra cal in the 2 inches of water?
Probably got about 3.5 to 4 inches of plaster going on.
Yep.
And now you're at cracked earth, right?
Yeah.
Alexa, count down 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Are we mixing this?
Gojira.
Not till 2 minutes go by.
Hallie's eyes
Let
and
it
Gloria.
steam.
We have the lady eyes. There you go, Hallie.
Yeah, I'm dead serious. Get on it.
Plastic Ninja says, I'm kind of jealous.
And I was hoping you'd be on tonight. That's isn't that a fun? I've always loved his scream is so iconic.
Ezekiel says, now where the hell did you get the horn noise?
Well, my wife got it, and we can send a link later.
I'll find the link, Ezekiel. Now I'm regretting it because he keeps getting it.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's gonna happen a lot for the next week.
And tomorrow he's taking it into public and he's going into dark hour tomorrow.
That's right.
So, oh my goodness. We carry guns in Texas. What in the world was I thinking?
Do you want me to start mixing the second bucket too?
No,
Now, is
we're gonna
that,
work on yours.
do you have your regular horn or is that the only horn you
That's
have
it.
now?
I had
You
the
don't-
other horn
did you
ripped out.
disable your regular horn?
I had it ripped out and threw it away. It's in the garbage.
You've got to get an inspection this month.
That's a car horn.
Warren, Gojira.
Yeah. That's a horn.
After you blow the horn, you need to run through the yard smashing everything.
Why do you think I don't do that?
Is there 2 inches of ultra cal in the water to get the cracked earth look, Rude?
Oh, what?
Stay with me, Rude.
Sorry.
Rude, stay with me. Is there 2 inches
Alexa,
of
stop.
ultra cal in the water to get the cracked earth look?
About. I mean, you just keep going until you have the cracked earth look.
Yeah, you add plaster until you've achieved that effect, because it'll settle. Well, the next bucket we mix will show you.
When I
Start
looked-
with about 2 inches of water and then just keep adding plaster.
Bring the camera
So you
over.
get-
Thank you. No, that's
Cracked
good.
earth.
They want to see how that works. Super helpful.
So, Rue, the reason why you wait 2 minutes,
Yeah, I've never
Because-
waited 2 minutes.
well, that you did it wrong. I hate
Yep.
to say that, but if you wait 2 minutes, then the water is seeping into. You know, I don't have any lumps. Like right now, I could just do this. I have no lumps, none.
Yeah.
Hey, gloves.
So we're almost lumpless.
Hashtag
No
lumpless.
lovely nasty lumps, like plaster
My lumps. My lumps. My lovely
Alex,
plaster
lumps.
Hallie says, give me some color schemes.
Hazel is the #1 eye color that people want to go into masks, and then a bright blue. But so do your normals first, then you can go into your demon eyes and yellow eyes.
Super bloodshot.
Just go to a contact lens company, go to their website and look at their suggested contact lenses, because they're suggesting the top sellers.
John C. When I lived home, I would only order taxidermy supplies that didn't have taxidermy in their company name on the return address, so my mom wouldn't ask questions.
So that post just gave me some Norman Bates vibes.
Yeah, Hallie, if you have a website or something, let us know. Logan says, now all you need is an inflatable Godzilla to put on the roof of the van. We got plenty of them.
I have an inflatable Godzilla.
Ezekiel says, my kids will be so annoyed when I blast that at school drop-off and pickup. It's my job to be an uncool dad.
That would have been the coolest dad.
Do you like the Blue Ocean
that's-
called Godzilla? Also a favorite song.
I do indeed.
Well, I suppose the waiting 2 minutes, I just mix by hand and break everything up.
Yeah,
I'm doing
why
that,
take
so-
that time?
Yeah, I guess.
Why do you hate yourself?
My book says,
Yeah.
just don't do that in front of a Chinese restaurant. Stephen,
No, do that in front of a Chinese restaurant.
do you fill your Ed head with water like they show, or do you leave it hollow while sculpting?
Well, I tried putting water in it. I didn't want to fill it. That'd be really heavy. And it leaked. Like their closure did not work very well on the bottom. So then I just shoved clay up inside of it. So it is weighed down by about 15 pounds of clay.
Hugo says it's the best horn he's ever heard.
Thank you, Hugo. You're very supportive.
Third degree of terror. Now you need to build a mini Tokyo in your driveway and slowly plow through it with the van while blowing the horn nonstop.
Yeah.
Start saving cardboard
And
boxes.
since you read that out loud, honey, it's almost like permission. Okay, so remember, we're not going to wipe. You're just going to dab,
Mhm.
and you're just going to dab it down into those eyes.
Yeah, that's the eyes was my big concern thing because of how much fine detail they had in them.
And don't really set anything else.
Yeah, everything else should cover pretty well, except for
Worry about up under here.
Yeah,
you
up
might
under.
you might have some bubbles in there. You could have air bubbles here, so when you do these, load the brush and then clean off your brush on it, and that'll get it down.
Okay.
There you go. We do some things a little bit differently, but I do mostly trust that you know what you're doing.
Okay. Rodney had asked about the cracked earth, and he said that because he had issues with that today. He was working on it.
Well, when I mix up the next bucket of plaster, I will exactly show you my technique.
I'm talking about the 2 inch voltage cal with water to get the cracked earth look. So that's what he had.
I'm gonna explain my technique because it's not 2 inches. I never said inches. It's 2 fingers.
Yeah. I did say inches, but that was a misstatement of plan.
I love the Godzilla song by the lead singer of System of a Down.
Okay.
I don't think I've heard that.
Michelle says, Rue, that looks great.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Brandon says, cold milk, hot oil, no lumps in your Rue. Let's see. Oh, thank you, Michelle. That's so very good of you. Thank you, ma'am.
What are we thanking her for?
She just did a super chat.
Yay,
Oh, thank
super
you.
chat.
Thank you. RB says, looking forward to a green Stilby shirt. They are wrapping up and we'll be heading our way soon. And then I'm going to turn right. We've already turned right around and ordered more. So I'm really surprised and very happy with the response.
Your face is surprised.
Like your face is. Rodney Pope says, I know you've asked before.
Such maturity, bro.
But what is the consistency of the Ultra Cal you were using now?
Probably not pancake, maybe buttermilk.
The end heads have a better closure now. There's an insert that goes in before you screw on the cap.
Good.
Stanley. Hi. Kids and adults will be running up to the van like it was an ice cream truck making its rounds. John C. A pine tar coated glove sliding on the string of a double bass like a big cello was used to make the Godzilla board.
Okay.
Neat.
All I am doing is I'm building a little wall at the bottom to slow the plaster's escape on my piece.
And you've talked about that before with the Ultra Cal, Alan, about how until you mix it and start mixing it, it doesn't really
Right.
pick.
You can let it sit there and it's not hurting your time until you start agitating it. And then you're kicking off a chemical reaction and you're making it crystallize. can't hide your
Ross Rocket
crystal.
says it's at the end
Your
while the credits are
crystal
playing King of Monsters.
Cool.
The song.
You can't.
Cobweb says, at least Tally watches Alan's stream. She already has her own beat.
I need to get Hallie to come out here and make some monsters with us sometime.
Yeah.
James Minnick, hello.
What's up, James?
How are you, James? Where can one procure a chest armature for sculpting?
Mosher FX, Mosher, Mosher FX has one.
Rodney says, I've watched you do this before, but until you've done it, you really don't know what to look for. I appreciate you showing the details of this. He's talking about the mixing and flashing. Rodney, this is one of the many reasons why Monster Camp was created. Because people would try and learn through video, and there's some things that you guys just have to have your hands on, and you have to be able to learn while in the room. And that is one of the many reasons why Monster Camp. Once you learned it, you got it, but you really need to be in the room. But good on you for doing it. Hallie B says, I'd love to make monsters with you guys.
Okay,
Okay.
come on. Wire loop tool, I'm just gonna make myself some circular registration marks.
Hallie, if you're on our Facebook Creepers group, please post some of your information so that people can buy some of your work. Come on. Come on.
No.
You okay? Come on, baby. Boris.
Awesome, Michelle. I'm so happy to hear that you are you ordered some clay. That's awesome. Yeah. The world needs more monsters. Yes, Scott is the man. So I also see up here, what do registration marks do? Well, when you have the two pieces of the mold and you've made this nice flat mold wall, sometimes they don't want to line up exactly right. They kind of slide across each other. And the negatives that I'm making right here are going to be positives when I pull that wall away. There'll be little bumps. And then when I make the other side, it'll have these divots. So what I'm doing is I'm making a way for these to interlock. They're like the bumps on a Lego, is what they are. It's the bumps on a Lego, it's a feeling so strong. You can ride, boy. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the thrill of the fight. Okay. See where you're at.
Now it's the gloves.
Move that camera. Let them see what we're doing.
Move, puppers. Of course, you gotta be right where.
Okay, so the plaster's just getting thicker. So now I'm putting it in my hand and I'm running it up the sides.
Did you read anything while I was out?
Yes.
What did you read?
What do registration marks do was the last one I saw and got caught up with.
working
It's been on Facebook.
brush
It's
too
called
long.
Facebook
For
Creepers.
sure.
No, don't go up there. Just do down here. Because right now you don't have anything down here,
Mm-hmm.
and you could trap air bubbles. And don't scrape it up off the table because now that is mixed with Vaseline.
Oh, that's true.
So that
bad.
may not suck as much latex in that one section. Don't scrape it off the table. Let that
Okay.
die. This is dead.
Yep.
Let it die. It's okay to kill that little bit of plaster in the bucket. It's not that much. Plaster's not that expensive. Don't sweat it. Now, bang your bucket out in the garbage can.
Mhm.
Get yourself some more water. Vaseline is one of the worst things you can have in your plaster because that just creates a solid barrier that
Yeah,
moisture
it's
cannot pass
Moisture
through.
that won't go through.
Laura Beauty, thank you for your order. That is awesome. Thank you so much.
What'd she order?
She is
Oh,
awesome.
maybe she doesn't want us to tell people. Yeah, but hey, cool, thank you.
She ordered some good stuff. That's great. Thank you, ma'am. Awesome.
You know, I've never had a problem with it because I do all of my gold molds on the glass plate and I just use the pledge. I never use it.
Yeah.
You ready for a question?
Yeah.
I want to get into a shop to work as a prosthetic maker. Since you run your own shop, can you give me advice on what you look for when hiring someone? Perhaps how long have they been sculpting, etc.?
No. Honestly, probably the best sales pitch you could ever give me is if I come here and I'm willing to just sweep. I'm willing to sweep and listen to other people's conversations to learn things. And I'm willing to do that for a year before I ever do anything else. And then the next year, I am willing to just clean up and put things away. Because that will tell me the things that I need to do this kind of work, and it will tell me where they go, so that if I ever get to do that work here, I'll be more efficient. And then maybe the third year, I can help mix plaster, or help mix alginate, or help mix silicone. And if you're not willing to wait 3 years, it's probably not for you. Your other step is to learn on your own and become amazing. So they start knocking on your door.
What do you consider the best clay for sculpting heads? I found iguana wet clay on Amazon.
Wet clay is great.
Touch your water.
Bella's drinking my water for plaster. It's clean water in a clean
It's
bucket.
Clean water in a clean bucket. It's just funny.
Okay, Cara Beauty got a shirt, a small fit female zombie mask, and some birthday teeth.
Sweet.
Where's the broom? Says Stephen.
It's in the corner over there by the back. It's over there.
Stephen, we all sweep. Everybody sweeps every day.
I spent most of the day cleaning, and you could barely tell.
Jerry Collins, my head measures 7 5/8. Can that fit in the pumpkin man's mask?
Yes.
Oh.
It's a half mask. So I could make it a sock mask, and I could make it on just my larger head form, which is lovingly known as Ron Perlman.
Do you have it here still? No?
Rue, what are you doing?
Have you named the letter?
More water.
Yes, this is full murder jacket, is what this is.
Clay dust is the herpes of arts and crafts. Stephen Haynes. Of
No,
course.
it's not near as bad as glitter.
John C. says, I'll clean up after 3 big dogs.
Pour half of your water out.
Okay.
But you don't need that much for this next step. Because we just have to even out, we have to fix some of this. Because like where we put the fixed stuff up here,
Mm-hmm.
real easy to get air bubbles
Yeah.
down along here.
Down along this
So
edge.
that's why you get thicker. Just build up down here. If you have to do that anyway,
And just keep piling
there's
up.
that razor thin because this cured on a curve.
Mm-hmm.
So now there is that current of air that could be there unless we really get something liquidy. So
Okay.
just pour your water into my bucket, Ruth.
Hi, Chad. Chad Flyboy. Bummer. I just got to start watching. I missed what was done. I'll have to watch later. It's molding night, Chad.
Molding them. We're molding the heck out of stuff.
One finger.
Yeah.
Say hello to Chad Flyboy and to Steve Haynes.
Hi, Chad. Hi, Steve.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Oh.
Hello, Steve. Steve Haynes. I gotta tell you, you are a piece of work. This is bitter as worse. I thought she was my private dancer. I'm gonna do it here.
Private dancer. She dances for money.
Who sings that?
I do.
Wrong! I don't know who sang it.
I have no idea.
A burner, Tina Turner.
Oh, okay.
Bella, this is not a snack. Her favorite snack.
Yeah, plaster dust.
Where? Nope.
Go on.
Go on.
Come on, guys. Come on, Bella. Let's go. Come on. Come on, Steve.
But I want to eat it. Oh, I was going to talk about this as we did this time.
I'll mix one and I'll talk about it. Rodney's here for a while. He doesn't bail early on us. So we'll probably start with the, we'll be able to start with burlap this go round, but the real burlap layer will be a next batch.
Just tap them.
Yeah, it's all taped together.
Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
What? Hi, Courtney. There's your sound. Hope you're happy. Kind of phoned it in on the cracked earth on that one, huh?
Well, it's still dry.
Just enough cracked earth. Just right here. Made a dry continent. You want a dry world?
It sloshed when I moved it. Looks great now. It was actually cracked earth all the way around the outside and just powder in the center until I tried to move it.
I don't want my clay to go bad. This is good clay. Putting clay back in the bag is like trying to dress a drunk friend.
Oh, yeah.
It is not easy. Doesn't want to go back in the bag. Hates it.
I won't go back in the bag.
Alexa, countdown, 2 minutes.
Ignore that first
Second
one.
timer, 2 minutes, starting now.
Alexa, stop.
I still think there's too much air trapped in Tupperware. With the bag, you can really get it pushed down. I'm gonna grab me a pair of gloves.
Gloves that I just had on, back on.
Very
Gross.
gross.
I can figure out what side is the clean side.
Oh, everybody. We're making monsters. Isn't that cool? I love doing this. When did you start sculpting this?
Last Wednesday.
Okay, over a week.
Not, yeah.
Okay. Was that your timer or my timer?
That was my thing.
Okay.
Alexa, how much time left on timer?
You have 30 seconds left on your 2-minute timer.
So where we have to look out for bubbles is up under these. I did a good job covering these guys though. Good night, Michael.
Good night, Michael.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Is I love the
Alexa, stop.
silicone life cast. That's the way to do it.
Where did I,
We're caught up. Not a lot happened. I certainly didn't stand here and poke my belly on camera for 4 minutes straight. That didn't happen at all.
is that because you're hungry?
I probably should eat a little something in a bit.
As soon as you start, you're going to wrap up, I'm going to like to rub.
Okay. What you gonna grill?
You ready for you guys to finish? You guys always hang out for a while after it's very fast. Did you read Logan KFX? Does anybody know if Biddy has ed heads on site?
Someone said they were out of stock just now. Someone said that earlier that they were out of stock.
Did you get CompuMedra's life cast?
Yes. So now fill this up so that these eye holes are solid with this batch, and paint this a couple more times.
Okay.
It's clean water. They're fine. Yes, we're molding the bug. Yes, they will eventually get more. They have to get them from monster makers. And then this area here, we don't want that big divot. So, yeah, because we're about to be ready for fabric. But you got to have at least a 1/4 inch over everything before you can do fabric. I need this, bud. Was clean water.
Logan, he's out right now, but he's on restock. Mitch and Biddy has been He's been open for the entire thing. His material is considered construction. And construction was considered essential, so he did not close, which is probably why he sold out. But we will restock, which is really good about that.
And now we're going to leave Rue to his own devices, and I will do a plaster mixing demo. Hold back your excitement, everybody. You're not going to watch paint dry. You're going to watch me make rocks. So, have a bucket. All right? And when I say 2 fingers of water, it's just like whiskey or 2 fingers of scotch. It's the bottom of the glass and the width of 2 of my fingers or so. That's all. UltraCal likes to go on in batches. It doesn't want you to do it all in one whack. HydroCal would rather you just do everything all at once. Okay. No. Ow. Ow. That's not for you. Go on. Go on.
Give her voice. Boris, give her back.
Killing me. Dog is killing me. In here is UltraCal 30. You don't want to dump your plaster in. You want to shape or sift it in. Go on. Honey, help me out with this dog.
Boris, give here.
So you see how I'm shaking it to make this powder go in a rain-like fashion? This actually does take some skill to make that happen and to just keep from dumping it in, but that's just practice.
I like to hold the side of the container and tap the top of it.
Better than a shake weight. And every now and then I loosen up the powder in there so it'll flow a little better, because it'll compact itself. And I am not just hitting the middle, I'm also making sure that I hit on the sides. And I'm not touching it, okay? What I'm doing is I am adding powder to the water. I don't have to measure anything because I'm using its absorption rate to tell me when it's ready. Like right now, you can see an island forming right there. There's an island of plaster. That island is sinking because it's not at max absorption. That might be a little too much. You'll be fine. No, I must.
Boris.
It's probably good. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right. Get a little more plaster.
This jumped the eyeball.
It has absorbed in. But now, instead of sinking right away, you see how it floats? That means that the water is holding a lot of plaster. There's a lot of plaster in there. And I'm still shaking and I'm going off to the edges because I'm gonna dry this whole thing up. I'm gonna add so much plaster to this that there's no puddle of water. It's gonna look like a dry riverbed. And that's why we call it dry riverbed or cracked earth. You can see some of those cracks start happening right there, but I still have water all around the edges. So I'm going to shake it into that area. I'm going to shake it into this area. And I have gone a little heavy, but by the time that I give my 2 minutes, Alexa, countdown 2 minutes. That's all going to turn into this cracked earth right here. And maybe this powder here won't, so I push it over those wet areas. See how that cracked earth is happening on there? That's what you want. That is not what doggos want.
Oh, it's what they want. Not what they should have.
Alexa, how much time is left on my timer?
There are no timers set.
Alexa, countdown 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
See how we have cracked earth? That is the cracked earth method of mixing plaster. I didn't measure anything. I added plaster to the water in a sifting fashion until I get this. And then I'm going to wait 2 minutes. Right now, the water and the plaster are introducing themselves to each other. They're making friends. They're caressing each other. The water is invading the lumps of plaster and penetrating it. And it's going to stop any lumps from happening because we don't want lumps. Was penetrating the wrong word? My wife just gave me a look like I should not have said penetrating.
All of you just, it takes very little for this crowd. Are you new? It takes very little for this crowd. Oh, God, creepy. Okay. 1980 says, I was thinking about how to make a one-time use Allen head armature do-it-yourself kit. You know how they put items in clear plastic that are sealed around the edges and you have to cut them at once. It's 1980.
What does he want to make?
An armature, an Allen head armature. Courtney says, hey Courtney. Courtney, Monster Camp 3.
Woo!
I
Hey, Courtney.
mixed Ultra Cal for the first time in too long earlier, and I managed to do it perfect. I'm happy.
Hooray!
She was Monster Camp 3. Man, that was a heck of a class. Pups are going to need their own channel soon. Hi, Rob. 2 fingers of water minus a few laps from one thirsty dog. That is true.
That's how it goes.
1980 says a vacuum-formed plastic shell that is heat-sealed made of similar plastic from a hole to fill with either concrete or plaster. One set is cut out of the plastic mold and voila, out of it.
Alexa, stop. All right, so I'm going to do my first layer of plaster while Rue is thickening up his mandibles.
What about number 1 USG pottery plaster?
You want to look up the island method. Look up the island method for mixing plaster. The island method. That's what you use for pottery plaster and plaster of Paris.
So this is more like sifting in the plaster, right?
Yeah, you're pretty much sifting it in. But I just shake my wrist in such a way to where I get that nice curtain of plaster as opposed to dumps of plaster. No one likes dumps.
Hello, Buddy Geeks.
Hello, sir.
No lovely plaster dumps.
Right.
Hello, Richard McGrath in the UK. Good morning. Sorry, we have dogs. 3rd degree says brown chicken, brown cow. Oh, the commentary.
I think they would have let that go if you hadn't called me out on it, White.
We're not that kind of channel, says Jesse Papa Bear. Jesse Papa Bear said that.
If Jesse Papa Bear is
Jesse
the,
Papa Bear.
if he is the moral compass of this group, we're in trouble.
It's you, Jesse. You are the moral compass. Logan says, eek sounds naughty. He says, Monster Camp 3 rocks. Monster Camp 3 was an awesome class. Rachel Powell. Hi, Rachel. Outside. I just got my first Alexa today, and this is the first time tonight that she's actually responded to the live feed.
I'll try and be louder next time.
Rodney says, I know that look that I get from my wife.
Yeah.
All the time.
Tony Sosa says, what plaster do you use?
This is Ultra Cal 30 is what I'm using right now.
What did you coat the clay with before plastering?
Pledge. Furniture polish. Lemon scented. The lemon scent is important.
1980 says, just steal your wife's heirloom flour sifter for plaster. She won't mind.
That's right.
Lord, all the things that have disappeared out of the house and shown up here. You guys are hearing noises. This is what you're seeing.
Oh, now they're being all
Oh,
nice.
yeah, now they're all sweet. We're not fooled.
They were just.
There we go.
Oh, there it is.
Here we go. We are feeling feisty. We've had a nap and a snack, and now we're ready to play. Oh, Lord help me. Okay. How's this? Are you good?
Yeah, that's good.
Burlap.
What's that?
Like burlap.
You are ready for burlap. And you know what I have done for you?
Pre-cut burlap.
Pre-cut burlap, as well as I mixed up more plaster than I needed so that we could use this on yours. So I knew you'd be ready. Now you'll have to move the camera there. We change where the action is.
Moving where the action is.
So there are two dangers now with touching your sculpture, okay? You have a very thin layer of plaster on there. And if I push on that, I could crack that layer of plaster. I could also, it's still just water-based clay. I could also accidentally change the sculpture if I'm not careful. I've seen people like, why did the mold dent my nose? You dented your nose. With your big, thick sausage fingers, jerk face.
Jesse says, "Oh no, I run around naked all the time working in the backyard. I can't be anyone's compass." Oh, Jesse. Did you make the holes on the other side of the wall? The mold wall. Did you make the holes on the other side of the mold wall?
I'm gonna have to figure out what you mean. What do you mean by that? Holes? No. Always overlap. By a good bit. These two pieces right here, they didn't overlap at all. Like this one ends right here, and this one ends here. So this is pull it off and then put it back on. That is just an invite for air bubbles. Go ahead, honey.
Did you make a little lemon scented pledge work as a release for fiberglass resin?
I don't even risk it with fiberglass, no. I use Johnson's paste wax. I use Johnson's paste wax that I heat up a little bit with a heat gun so that it is liquid, and I paint on Johnson's paste wax. You have too many holes in here, just too easy to trap air. So just lay it to where it's on one. You can manage that. Like I know I can get, but hold it on this side. You're gonna fix this side and cause air bubbles on that side.
Okay. I've also never done burlap.
It's okay.
And I won't.
Watch too many wrinkles. You don't want any. You don't want wrinkles. You want to put this down as flat as you can.
If anyone asks, where is making it hellboy?
If anyone asks, yes.
He means registration keys. Did you put registration keys on the other side?
Well, no, because I only put them on the side you see. Because if I'm going to tear the clay off, so the other side of the wall is waste. It's unfortunate right now that my dogs are awake. No fold and wetter. Wetter.
Can you use flour instead of baby powder to keep the
Just that
latex
one.
from sticking to itself?
Can I use what?
Oh.
So just say it loud.
Can you use flour instead of baby powder to keep the latex from sticking to itself?
You can. The only thing I don't like about that is an actor is going to wear that mask, and they're going to put it on, and there's still going to be flour residue in there, and they're going to be making yeast up against their face all night. So I would rather use something that's inert. Ed Edmonds uses plaster dust because he has a bunch of it in his shop, and
Want to wrap the man books themselves?
not yet. So, but I don't like that either. I would rather use something that's inert, kind of like the baby powder.
Buddy says, I wonder if baby powder will go away after the Johnson & Johnson cancer lawsuits, and they
Well-
quit making it anymore.
Well, they just change what it's made out of. They change what it's made out of. They haven't. It's not going to go away. It's a necessary thing.
Do they use cornstarch?
You can use cornstarch, yes, and that's what most baby powder is being switched to.
1980 says, I use baking powder just because I had it handy.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Another one already in there.
Yeah, I'm managing this
Mm-hmm.
piece and that fold as much as I possibly can. I don't want any, and I'm looking at the burlap, and I don't want, if you see one of those little cells open up, rub it,
Mm-hmm.
because that means that's an air bubble.
Okay, actually, that works out.
What is happening here? What is this?
That's just put it on.
And are you keeping track of how many layers you have on?
This is second layer right here.
Guys, this is a very intense mold, so there might be a little bit of dead air just for a bit while we're working on this, so thank you for your patience.
Well, and also, any instruction I'm giving to Rue, hopefully they can just pick up on,
Right.
and we can, pass it on that way.
Outside.
And I'm gonna do the last piece in burlap. We wanna let this harden, and then we'll put this around the mandible. I gotta do one right over here where I need it.
I'll give you that one then. Because I've got two all the way across here.
Nope, no more.
No more?
They're
Don't touch
working
that.
behind mine.
Don't touch
That
it.
is true, 1980. They are. Right now, they are. Anybody who's done Monster Camp with us will tell you that this period of time that they're working on right now is very time sensitive. And so they are actually, the clock is kind of ticking. Alan calls this, they are chemically committed.
We are chemically committed.
Which means.
This is gonna turn into a rock.
So they have to hustle. So if we get a little behind on the comments, just hang tight, guys.
And you can ask questions, honey.
Okay, I've got one. Can you add Ultra Cal after the previous Ultra Cal dries? I may have made my molds too thin.
Yes, you can.
And we haven't wrapped them. Do that.
Well, not until you get this thick plaster. That's why I saved a little bit of plaster. Once it's good and thick, we'll build it up on there.
Yeah, you're smart.
We watch.
Why don't you go ahead and start mixing up one more 2-finger batch?
And they stole the whole bucket.
Oh my gosh. They take the bucket?
That's the bucket we need. Just take that bucket right back from it.
We once watched Alan open a 5-gallon bucket. We can watch anything.
No, I don't.
You know what? That video has a lot of views, man.
Yes.
Uh,
How about your cold wrap video?
I haven't checked that one. I've been busy, but yeah. You know what? People need basics. That's some of the stuff that I look up every now and then. You're going to see a how to use contact cement video from me. You're going to see a how to mix plaster video. Just that. I'm just mixing plaster in this video. That's what people want to know. And it's great that you have a video for the whole process of mask making, but if you're about to mix some plaster, maybe you just want to watch that as a refresher.
Especially a nice little 2-minute. Watch it. Cool. Got it.
Yeah, that 5-gallon bucket tutorial. Get some of your basic stuff.
It's important. It's not the fun content to make, but it's necessary for folks. So right now, I'm waiting on the stuff in this bucket to get about this thick, maybe a little thicker. I'll probably start working with it now because I want to use it to thicken up on these mandibles. So one of the things that I am constantly aware of while I'm molding is the feel of the plaster. I have it in my gloved hand quite a bit, and it changes throughout. Obviously, when it started, it was liquid. When it started, it was liquid, and now it's not liquid. So, you have to just let it get thick. And then you mess with it.
Somebody eat too quick.
Hang on one sec, guys.
Oh, you're tough.
Yeah, I'm not worried about that. We're not smoothing out yet. All I want to do right now is build up these mandibles. That's all that I want to do. Hey, Rue, call those dogs outside, would you?
Sure.
Come on, Popo.
What happened to you?
Come on. Come on.
Hang on a sec, guys. Having a small difficulty with the houndies. Okay. All right. Rue, have you started mixing?
No.
Put any plaster in the water?
No.
Put the lid over the tub? Then tell a story.
Okay.
Rue is telling a story. Right back.
Rue's coming up with a story. Let's see. So, there is a certain type of monster energy drink that we happened to find. We were on our way to Transworld last year, and during our trip to Transworld, we stopped at a gas station that we don't have here in Texas. It's a different gas station than we have here. It's Casey's gas station, actually. But we don't have those here. We stopped at it in Oklahoma on our way there. And while in looking for a drink, I found Monster Mules. Now, as I've said to other people before, mules happen to be my favorite drink anyway. Like actual alcoholic drink. Not that I needed to specify. But so while I was in the gas station, I found these mules. I bought all of them that they had. I think there were 14. No, there were 7 at the first gas station. There were 7. I bought all of them. And, well, looking like a grubby little goblin, holding all of my 7 energy drinks, walking up to the van. I had just opened the Monster Mule and taken 1 sip out of it. And as I'm coming by Alan raises his eyebrow, and I'm like, "This is delicious." You know, I hand it to him so he can have a sip of it. And in his Alan way, he proceeds to take a sip of it, look back at me, and hide it. Nope, this is mine. So I lost one of my 7 immediately upon buying energy drinks. Then,
Talking about that.
yeah, my Monster Mules. And so I think I drank way too many of them in any case during the Trans World weekend.
The ginger,
Yeah, the Monster
ginger
Mule.
monster. Cool, they're delicious.
I drank way too many of them that weekend. And then, on our way back in, since I knew I wouldn't be able to find them anywhere in Texas, I bought another 14 at the next Casey's we stopped at on our way back in. And now I can find them just about anywhere. So, now I'm happy with it. But it took me... There was a good, month, I think, where I was... Every gas station I stopped at after I did run out of those 14 that we came back with after Transworld, every time I stopped at a gas station, I went and checked their monster section to see if they had
It
any.
was like a mission.
It was pretty bad. And then it was people were rubbing it in my face when they found them. They were
Yeah.
sending me links of them.
All right, start mixing up that batch. We'll get back on it.
Back on it.
Alan, did you really break the mold of your amulet?
Hold on.
The way the mold is sitting reminds me of a dung beetle.
I did not break it. I did not break it. Here it is. I almost dropped it, like it slipped out of my hand, and then I caught it. But I caught it off frame, and I thought that would make a great blooper, and I added the crash sound. So it is in one piece. It is whole. It is still a beauteous Beastman piece of memorabilia.
Alan, look at the base on the camera side. There might be a hole.
Oh.
It's ugly, but there's enough plaster on there. When we get the next batch, we will certainly fix that.
Rodney Pope says there's someone out there that needs all these videos at one time or another.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is this going to be a master making tonight?
Well, I won't be able to pour it tonight, but I'm going to mold tonight. We're going to mold this one, and we're going to mold this one right over here.
Right rear corner is a little rough.
Yes, that is, we've mentioned that one. Yeah.
Very little out there on making a fiberglass mold for fiberglass props. Almost all are the fiberglass mother molds for latex or silicone props.
You know what? I actually have one on my channel, which I was making fiberglass sconces. And I think I did a silicone mold. No, I did a latex mold. And I made fiberglass sconces. So that's on my channel.
You know who you can watch that actually has a lot of them on their lives?
Who's that?
Asylum Props.
Oh yeah, they do a lot of fiberglass. Yeah.
Rodney says, I feel like I've gained a bunch of new friends through these lives.
You know what? So do I.
Oh yeah.
And at a time when I'm not seeing people, the hardest, weirdest thing right now is that when you do see someone, you don't hug them, you don't shake their hand, you stare at each other
High
from
five.
8 feet away and be like, hey, it's good to see you. You know, it's weird, you know?
Alan, have you heard of bonded liquid plastic welder that you're getting advertisements for?
I have not, but probably you're looking at things that are, you know, materials, so you're getting fun ads for it. Yeah.
What is that tapping sound?
This is Rue's technique of. This is a Rueism,
This
where
is just how I sift.
he sifts because he loves to sit on that stool, and this way he can do it like 4 or 5 minutes longer than if he did it my way.
Hi, Stacy. Stacy will be on.
I don't have to do everything his way. I don't.
Stacy will be on board tomorrow night. Did you make the eye in the center of that piece, the amulet? Did you make the
No,
eye?
no, I bought that eye from Amazon. It's a very cheap eye. It's a very cheap eye. We just put it in a cool surrounding.
Yeah, I'm not good at it your way.
It's
I'm
okay.
just not.
That's fine. I have years and years of shake weight training.
No, you
That's
don't
it.
have to do it this way. Alan, where do you get the clear Gorilla adhesive? Either out Lowe's or Walmart carries it.
I get it at Home Depot.
Although talking about making friends and feeling like you know Alan from watching his videos and stuff, that's actually how Alan and I got to know each other. I started by watching his videos and commenting just like everybody else. And then I eventually ordered a mask. And and the shipping of it got real screwed up. And
Because Rue's address on his PayPal was an old address. He did message me the new address in a Facebook message, which it would have taken the same amount of time, by the way, to update your PayPal address. But, of course, when I'm shipping, what I look at is that PayPal. I didn't remember to go back through all my messages and see the changed address.
it was a simple mistake. It was a simple mistake on both of our parts. But we became friends over it.
This is the clear, you know what, I'm going to turn the camera around so it's not a reversed image. This is the Gorilla Glue. This is what you want. Gorilla Glue, max strength, construction adhesive, clear. All surface, all purpose. It is wonderful for drool. Speaking of drool, here's Rue.
Alan, are you going to do airbrush live streams?
When I'm painting masks, yes.
Tapping is way worse than the dog noises.
Sorry.
1980 says, wonder if you were to put plaster in an old baby powder bottle, would it self-shift?
What you could not tell maybe easily is he probably added 2.5 or 3 of that coffee container to this bucket. So it would just take a long time because baby powder, the biggest one I've ever had was 32 ounce. And that's a lot of baby powder. And if you need that for your baby, see a doctor.
Is Rue short for anything?
Oh, that's another story. That's a fairly long story, so
Short for rheumatism.
it's not short for rheumatism.
Could be.
Or Rufus, or Rupert, or anything like that. It is not. My real name is Andrew.
He thinks real names are for chumps. Alexa, countdown, 2 minutes.
Now, do I actually tell this story? No, I'll save that for a story time.
There you go. Next time I say, hey, it's story time, you got something to say. And anything from Home Depot that you order online, you can pick up in the store for free. So that's helpful.
Maybe pour plaster powder through a classifier string.
No, I mean, I'm really happy with the system I have. What I do works. I've done it that way for about 2,000 masks. I appreciate you trying to find a better way, but it works just fine.
Very engaged.
It's a good time to reflect and think about the project while you're mixing the plaster. Now, I wouldn't do it Rue's way, but my way, I'm happy with. I think it's an efficient method.
1980 thought you were named after Ruth.
I am not named after Ruth from Winnie the Pooh.
He was named after someone from Winnie the Pooh.
Well,
It would be...
I mean,
You're pretty close to Tigger. Yeah. Because you do stuff that just gets you in trouble a lot.
Me? Never.
Yeah.
Where is Merman showing tonight?
Merman was moved. Merman is
Hiding.
right there. See that white ball next to the black and white creature? That's him.
Courtney says, I use large plastic drinking cups because a coffee can is too big for my small hand.
You should see about getting your hands enlarged.
Yeah.
Just make them bigger.
They have an operation for that.
That would look awesome. Maybe you get hands out.
I could use some smaller hands. I'm a hand.
Yeah.
I'll trade you one for one. Because I can still use
Nice.
my big hand, too.
Oh yeah, a small hand to reach tiny places.
Yeah.
That'd be great. Alexa, stop.
Our cookies.
Now mix it up.
Cookies. Oh, yeah.
Almost no lumps.
Boy, that's so much easier.
You'd be mixing for 2 minutes anyway to get the lumps out.
Yep.
I tell you what, guys, my dogs want to eat plaster. They want to eat plaster as much as they want to eat Alpo.
Treats?
Like,
I didn't say that.
Why did you say
I
that?
didn't mean to say that. They didn't notice.
They want
Somehow.
you to.
Magically.
So when I'm cleaning this bucket out, any little chips that like fall on the floor, they just go after them like potato chips. I have to be careful. We must be cautious.
Where did it go?
Mold some monster latex gloves for bigger hands, says Jim.
I do. I make all of mine for bigger hands. It's dead. Just get another brush.
Get another one. Gotcha. Feeling okay, buddy? Alan's over here.
My dogs are awesome because now they're tired. Tired dogs make me happy.
You know, Rue, you do have a point about the whole Winnie the Pooh, and because Rue mimics everything that Tigger does anyway.
That's true.
So.
Authentic plaster dog poo will be added on the site for later take. No.
What?
You like hydrocal or ultracal?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I like them both. They're different. I like hydrocal because it wicks latex faster. It's just a faster plaster to make masks with. Once you're done making the mold, it is more a pain in the butt to make a mold because hydrocal wants to spider crack, and ultracal is really pretty stable. Hydrocal also will shrink more. So if you make a two-piece mold with hydrocal and you leave the two halves separate, they will shrink at different rates and they won't line up as well. So you have to put them together.
And what do you do when you make one half out of hydrocal and one half out of ultracal, Alan?
Well, you strap them together so that one holds the other in place as much as possible.
I say that because that just accidentally happened recently.
Yeah. Okay. All I'm doing on mine is putting another batch on. And Rue, you should,
I'm addressing those
are you covered?
chunky
'Cause
spots.
I would, yeah, smooth those out and then let it get thicker because we want to put a, we're going to give this a spine right down here of building up thick plaster.
Mm-hmm.
We already have it around here, remember?
Probably
Uh,
together as one.
Yeah, I would just build up a little more. Use, then you'll go with this stuff. You know what, do these next with this.
Okay.
Wrap them good, give them a good 2 layers.
But I can do that now. While we're running.
Right, absolutely. I wanted to make sure those mandibles had a good 1/2 inch of plaster on them before we used the burlap fabric. And the secret to doing molds and not, is don't waste a bunch of plaster. I don't want to risk it in the bucket. That's why I tend to do smaller batches now.
I used to work at a clamp factory, and our lamp bases were made from hydrocal. Have you had issues with surface mold when using hydrocal?
It happens with hydrocal more than it does with ultracal, but it does with any actual porous plaster material. You could get mold. But normally what I do is I will just spritz them down a little bit of vinegar and or bleach, and that does the trick.
Alan, Harbor Freight does not have any of your gloves. Sorry, I forgot to tell you on Tuesday.
Thank you.
That's Robert White.
Yeah, I think that Harbor Freight is donating their gloves right now to hospitals and stuff that needs them. Need them, not needs.
That needs this.
So obviously I'm only molding half of the goat tonight.
Thank you, Scott. Putting up the link for us. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Scott is just a link
He
master.
is. He's a ninja, man. I don't know how he does it.
I'm going to be ready for I want my layer that I just painted on to harden on my mask, and then I'll be ready for fabric on mine.
Now, Rodney, Stacy was on earlier. I don't know if she's still here. She came on late, but she will be on tomorrow night. I'm working, and Stacy will be reading comments tomorrow night. 1980 says farm and home carry gloves. You can even get the Amish mechanics gloves.
Right now I actually have good gloves. I was given gloves by a friend of mine and a viewer, so.
Oh, Stacy's here. Great.
How's it going, Drew?
Good.
What you doing?
Yeah, putting the burlap around that stuff. I did one layer. I'm gonna do full 2.
Yeah, do 2.
Okay. Forgot the gloves.
Oh, I just washed my hands so I could put gloves on. I just did that.
And I just got a bunch of plaster in your arm here.
Jerk face.
Dish gloves hold up longer than the nitro glue. Thank you for posting and streaming, guys. Sometimes hard to find information when it comes to these things. It is appreciated. That is from Knuckles X Reacts.
Awesome, very cool.
Did you
Yeah, I mean, there's just not a lot of folks who do this, and everybody does it different. So you can hear 5 different ways to do things.
Did you do 2 layers on your side?
Nope.
You just put another layer on that side, right?
Nope, you did that.
Okay.
I didn't put any on the mandibles.
Oh, okay. You haven't put any on. Okay.
Come September, if you guys need gloves at Monster Camp 5, I'll bring some. We are our only store left with tons, says Chad Flyboy. Thanks, Chad. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will let you know if we are low. Thank you so much.
Wait, did Chad just say he works at Harbor Freight? Is that what I just got from this?
Drew's all like, hook a brother up.
Hold up.
Yeah, that would be that would be very funny.
I have my gloves on now. I'm ready to help.
Okay.
Chad says we also have masks and sanitizer. Thanks, Chad. I appreciate that.
Where's your store? Like North Dakota? No one has gloves, mask, and sanitizer.
Oh.
The great part being is that there will be a small class for Monster Camp, so it won't be that hard to do. Chad says, we have it all, Marion, Arkansas. That's great, thank you.
So is that a yes, Chad? Do you work for Harbor Freight?
I think Chad's a cop. Chad, you're in law enforcement, right? I don't think he is a convict.
Huh. 'Cause I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, if he works hard and applies himself, he could be.
You know. Cop, Harbor Freight. Not even near close to the same thing.
I know where my allegiance would lie.
We know.
Have you ever heard the quote, water, water everywhere, not a drop to drink? That's how I felt at my work looking for pallets of toilet paper during the shortage.
Wow. Yeah.
Richard McGrath says, I've been watching some Ed Edmonds videos. He is a cool dude. Is Richard comfortable?
He is. He's a really good guy.
I worked for Ed before Alan. Well, sort of. I worked in Ed's booth.
Jumping out of people.
Specify. Let me specify. I worked in Ed's booth at Transworld.
Chad says, I work full-time CarQuest mom and pop store. We sell everything from hardware, car, on all lots.
CarQuest.
Well,
The place that nobody thinks to go for hand sanitizer.
he said, law enforcement's part-time. Chad, thank you so much. I tell you
Yes.
what, we're gonna wait and see how things go, but I greatly appreciate that, and I will let you know, sir. Thank you. Man, that's helpful. Awesome people.
People are awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, this year can.
7 people are awesome.
Boy, my side looks way prettier
Oh yeah, I'm not going for pretty.
than yours.
Yeah, I'm not trying to. Oh no, it doesn't. Little divot right there. You sure you got 2 layers on here?
Mhm. Just kidding.
Any advice for constant tip dry when using an airbrush?
I have a little brush that I got from Home Depot, and I keep the brush, because I use alcohol inks, but I keep the little brush by my airbrush station, and then I spritz it with alcohol, and it's almost like a toothbrush. It's a little stouter than a toothbrush, but it's a toothbrush. But keep a toothbrush in a little thing of alcohol or water, depending upon what you're spraying. That's what I use. Would you clean out one of these 2 buckets
Sure.
and make us another batch?
Another one.
In Greeley, Colorado. Really wanted to go to Monster Day in Greeley, Colorado. Alan went last year.
Well, you know what? We'll see how this year goes.
And if it exists,
You need companies. It was, you know what? Monster Day was such a different. I don't know if he told you, but when we got there, and it was the morning of the convention. I'm sorry, morning of Monster Day, we were in major convention mode. Get there early, get
Oh,
set
yeah.
up, and all this such. And we get there, and there's no one there. And it's just bare. Like, are we in the right place? Is it the right day? And they're all right. It's just that it's a family festival. You know, it's a street festival.
so relaxed.
And we were in
Yeah, and
yes, and we were in this massive convention mode. And we had to change our mindset real fast. Wait a minute, nobody's hustling. This is a family festival. It's a street festival. And we literally.
Ed Edmonds is never gonna put on
He
something that's stressful.
People look at us like, they're like, oh, we gotta settle down. And then the rest of the day, it was the loveliest day. We didn't know what to do with ourselves. I kept looking over to Ivan and Leslie going, y'all good? They're like, we're fine. And we're just like, no one's hustling. No one was hustling.
I got to be a Yeti.
Everybody was, and a wolfman. Everybody was having so much fun, and we were in this massive hustle convention mode, which was so unnecessary. And we just had to kind of change our mindset for that day. But it didn't take long because it was a fun, relaxed, lovely day. And if you're in Texas in August and you go to Colorado in August, you relax really fast.
They're walking around going, it's hot.
It was
Yeah,
so
we're like, wiki for costume.
Oh, yeah.
It was so beautiful.
Like, I'm a Yeti, I'm not, huh?
Oh my gosh, it was gorgeous.
Ezekiel, Coke Zero on the rocks, plaster rocks.
Oh, I put plaster all over in my soda just now. I was hoping y'all didn't catch that. I try and trick you guys into thinking I'm smart.
They've already got the shirt design up.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Horror Beauty, it was a lovely day. And it's again, it's not a trade show or a convention. It's not business. It's a family street festival. And really, it was just not what we were accustomed to. We were accustomed to the hustle of a business day, and it wasn't. It was beautiful. Great day.
We did still sell some
We
stuff.
sold things, yeah,
It
but
was fine.
lots of, we had a booth there. We did well. But families and dogs and bands playing, and it was great. It was a great day.
When was that?
The dogs see you consuming plaster and they want a copy. That's true.
It's what, August, honey?
August, right?
It's in August.
The website hasn't changed. Line Cook says the best picture of Monster Days was you as the Wolfman and Ed Edmonds talking to you.
Yeah.
Light Geek says, I'm planning on going to the haunt at Scream Hollow in a couple of weeks down by Austin.
Cool.
Sick Dreams FX. Hope you guys are doing well.
We are.
We're still at a stay-at-home order until June 5th.
Who's that?
This is Sick Dreams FX. What would you recommend for cleaning a mask after pulling it out of the molds? citric acid or adhesive promoter?
If you just pulled it out of the mold, then you're perfectly fine to just paint it. You don't technically have to clean it. If it's been sitting a while, then I would use the citric acid. Or I use mineral spirits too, like odorless mineral spirits. Just give it a good wipe down. Okay. This guy's just about there. You know, we don't have a lot more to do on him. I'm going to strengthen these up, and I'm going to add a lump of plaster here so that when you flip this over, this guy can rest on these 3 pieces of plaster.
Oh, what am I doing? So those over there. I'm distracted myself.
Michelle Shelley, Illinois, is coming at June 23rd for their next phase. Fingers crossed for us.
Yeah, you know, and where were you, Sick Dreams FX? That you're still under stay at home until 5th? Where in the country?
Pennsylvania.
Okay, yeah. I can see that.
Okay, well, you know what, guys, thanks for letting us know. It's good to know what's going on, and I mean, we can hear in the news, but I really like hearing from other people about what's going on in the country as far as lockdowns and such, so super helpful, thank you.
Have I shown you guys my car horn?
Yes, you have.
It's really cool.
No, it's 10:15, it's too late. No, stop. No. They can run the video back. Bar Beauty says, wishing the best of luck to you, Sick Dreams. We are stuck until July 12th. It's hard. And they love the horn. Scott Cohart quit.
What do you do?
They're all like, no, let's see it, do it again. Joanne Crowley, after listening to everyone, it seems like the Northeast doesn't have much as far as haunts and traditions.
You are correct. There's not a lot happening up in that part of the country.
What is your favorite horror?
Which is funny because it's very haunted.
I'm gonna say here, it's actually not funny, and I'm not even surprised, because that's where a lot of the older haunted houses are from. Is up in the Northeast, and that was the mentality in the 70s and 80s was that haunted house is going to steal my secrets, so let's not meet up and share secrets. So they're just adopting slower, whereas haunts in other parts of the country are actually sharing more because they don't have as many old timers who are in the, you know, don't share, they're going to steal our secrets phase. And, honey, what did you ask me right before that? Right after that, I mean?
You were talking about your horn. And I was, no.
Oh, horror flick. Favorite horror flick. That was it. All right. So let me add some sentences. I don't like horror movies. I like monster movies. Just because it is a horror movie doesn't mean I'm going to like it. I want my movies to have a supernatural element. So I want there to be a monster in it. If it's a guy in a suit, even better. But I like monster movies. I don't like horror movies. So what are my favorites? The Relic is great. Pumpkinhead is great. Trick or Treat is great. The Jeepers Creepers franchise is really fun and good. I mean, there's a lot of good ones. I mean, there's monster movies, really good. Creature of Black Lagoon, Wolfman, the Wolfman with Benicio del Toro. It's a slow-paced film, but I enjoyed it. So, yeah. That's what I like. Monster movies. King Kong. Can't beat
Lightning
King Kong.
says Indiana has face mask requirements, but I've hardly seen anyone following it when I ventured there.
Yeah, Texas doesn't have any face mask requirements, but they're saying, hey, the CDC advises you wear a mask.
Monster Squad.
Monster Squad is one of my top 10 movies. That movie's amazing. Just waiting on Rue to mix up some plaster. He was trying to tap quieter, I could tell.
It was.
I am
And
not.
I was trying to use Alan's method. Alexa, set a timer for 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
Harvey says I am not into the horror movies now. They are all crap on tortured people. Not into that. Monsters is where it's at.
Yeah.
Line Cook 4 says Trick or Treat is one of my favorite movies. Then Jeepers Creepers.
Yeah, I would say Trick or Treat's top 10 for me too.
Have you ever seen a film called Rawhead Rex?
Yes, one of the first Clive Barker movies, right?
Paul Bennett says I don't watch horror movies.
Yeah, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, Ezekiel, being from Minnesota, it's kind of blowing my mind right now. Minneapolis.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's culture shock for sure. Because of the way that my brain works with syllables of words and things, every time I see Tony Sosa's name up there in my head, I go, hold me closer, Tony Sosa. But I told myself I would never say it out loud, and I just screwed that up.
Is there such thing as two extremely scary maps?
Is there such thing as a too extremely scary mask? No. Now, there are certainly masks out there that would make me uncomfortable, but I would not say scary, no. Got anything else, wife? Okay.
Who's your favorite effects artist?
Rick Baker. Followed very closely by. Hold
Alexa,
on.
stop.
Why is his name eluding me? Because I'm old. That's why.
Tom Savini.
No.
Drew?
No.
For a makeup artist? Stan Winston?
The French guy.
No.
Glenn Hedrick.
What he did.
Vimeo.
He did Legend. He did Legend. He did he did Meg Mucklebones on Legend. He did. Oh.
Ridley Scott's movie Legend?
He did a lot of cool stuff. He did The Boneyard, and he's one of my favorites. He did The Howling. I think he didn't do The Howling. He didn't do The Howling. He helped on The Howling, but The Howling was the other one's baby.
Kind of any new creations. I left Texas to add to my orders.
You might have seen, I'm molding a three-eyed goat. We molded the full murder jacket, which is a murder hornet mask. I have beast mode being poured up right now. And Merman is still in the sculpting phase.
Rob Bott?
Rob Botton. Botton effect. Rob Botton. Rob Bottin. Yeah. Okay, so right now, Ruse plaster. I didn't hear the alarm go off, but it's pretty close to time. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix it
Yeah,
up.
went off.
And I'm taking this plaster for me because I need to start my fabric.
I see
I thought
pledge,
that was strictly for
You
you.
ready?
I see pledge on your table. I only have the monster clay. And in the past, I would use clear coat. Do you think I can use pledge as a release?
You can use Pledge. And you will like Pledge way better than Clear Coat.
What are your thoughts on making a pinhead mask?
Smooth coat on this.
No. You're going to get a... Behind the clock, there are red Solo cups that are this big. Not the little ones. There's one that's this big. It's a smaller one. Grab one of those Solo cups.
Okay.
And you're going to fill that with plaster. And you're going to make a leg so that this mask can stand up like a tripod.
Oh, okay.
And you had asked me a question.
Body Geek says, has there been any new creations since I left Texas?
You asked me that one, and I hit that one. I answered that one. I went through everything that we'd made.
It seems like Alan can make a song out of anything.
Yes.
A friend of mine in California says they're starting to make like concentration camps. So if you don't mind their social distancing rules and such, they put you in there.
Well, I'm just going to wait to hear about that one on the news.
That's hard to believe. Richard McGrath says, I thought the inbred Santa mask Shannon had on is amazing. The one I posted.
Oh. Yeah, that's a fun mask. Thank you.
That is a fun mask. Time for
So just a
solo
cup, right? And let
mask
it sit?
talk.
That's it for a while.
Let it harden.
Mhm.
Drippy, drip, drip, drip,
Good
drip.
to
And
hear
then-
from you, Body Geeks. Hope you've been doing well.
And you'll have to put it somewhere on
You're
there
super busy.
where that will balance, you know.
Oh, and Body Geeks, let me know, when last we spoke, you were going to decide whether you wanted a foam-filled Heptaron blank or you wanted just the blank. And so when you get back to your emails and check our last thread, let me know what you wanted to do with that, and we'll press on. I figured you kind of dropped off, so I figured you got snagged with business, and I got you on that. But when you get a chance, just check your emails and see. Yep, I got you. You're just running around working. I got you. Jimmy Carroll, Rob Botton, I think, 13.
Yes, he is awesome. I like his design. I like his style. He also did. It wasn't Tales from the Crypt. It was. Might have been. No, not a Tales from the Crypt movie. What was the show that was kind of like?
Creep show?
Not Outer Limits. There is another world, a darker world. Dang. They show creepy trees, and their music sounds like.
Twilight Zone.
Not Twilight Zone. Yeah, it's not Twilight Zone.
You two sick dreams.
You dwell in the sunlit world that you believe to be reality.
Just running around KY working. It's better than
Tails.
running around working KY.
Rue. Rue. Speaking privileges revoked. Yes, Tales from the Dark Side. I think there was a Tales from the Dark Side movie. Anyway, he did a like magician's rabbit, and it was a special effects, super scary looking rabbit. Really cool. Well, he also did Meg Mucklebones from Legend. Yeah, the fewer compound turns and wrinkles and stuff you can put in the burlap, the better. So I don't mind doing one, like right up against the wall, but you don't want to do two.
I can see you reading it, so I'm not reading it.
I'm not reading it either because Shannon's going to read it to me.
I got you. Guys, just chill.
She's not even going to. She might not even read that to me because that's for her.
It is for me.
She'll just tell me what to do later.
For Body Geeks,
Yeah.
don't read it to me.
Okay. So stay over
That
here.
like Donnie Darko rabbit.
No, it's a beautiful design. Look up Rob Bottin, Bottin, Scary Rabbit, and you'll see it on Google. Really, just a fun, almost cartoony but terrifying looking sculpt.
Okay. And they're all saying it's Tales from the Dark Side.
Yes. I now have one
Good night,
coat.
Chad.
I have one coat over everything, so now I'm doing a second coat over everything.
Night, Chad.
Good night, Chad. I don't care what they say anymore. This is my life.
Ooh, bug. Here, bug, you're not supposed to do it. You said, screw it, I want to look at
So I'm just carefully putting on 2 layers of plaster.
Hello, Dan McCorson.
Woo!
Jesse Papa Bear says, was Rabbit a mask?
No, it was, I think it was from the Tales from the Dark Side movie. And it was like a scary magician's rabbit.
it. Night, Paul.
Tony says
Night,
it
Jerry.
was awesome when a celebrity session.
Night, Chad.
Do you have celebrities that say your name?
I think he's talking about you.
I am not a celebrity.
Alan loves being called a celebrity.
It's
Call him a
it's
celebrity
so
a lot.
weird. It's so weird. I don't know. I don't see anything unique about what I'm doing.
Does it feel awesome when they sing your name in a song?
That's right. And say, hold me closer.
Hold me closer, Tony. So it's
Just it's syllables, man. It's syllables. Doom, 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 doom.
And you've related Tony already with it. Tony Danza.
Yeah.
Which is still not even words. But played off of way too often. No, please don't.
Twilight Zone the movie. Okay. Got it. It was Twilight Zone the movie.
Calling me the haunt godfather. Jesse says, I see it. Scary and cool.
Yeah, isn't that nice?
1980 says, Twilight Zone, the movie, had power to make cartoons real. He made the rabbit.
Yeah.
Tony says, no, please don't.
Ezekiel's parents even knocked him for it.
Dan says, you definitely are one of the godfathers of Halloween, well respected and followed by fans. Dan, of course.
Well,
Jesse says, Uncle Walt's tribute.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Scott.
Uncle Walt's what?
Sure. What the episode was called.
Oh.
There's a Twilight Zone episode that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. It's the kid that could imagine things, and you imagine they would come into reality. He would just imagine something and he'd make it real.
Okay.
And I don't remember all of how it worked, but he imagined a heart and was eating a heart. And then he ate it. It was weird.
The
But
scene from Pumpkinhead where the kid's parents just get grabbed through the window, that was traumatizing.
yep. And also, the original Pet Sematary. I have still never ever rewatched that movie.
But not because of the zombies, not because of the pets, because of Zelda. Was it Zelda the
No.
sister?
No,
So I think she was the creepiest part of that.
it was the kid, the toddler.
Oh,
I
it was
think
that
I was-
stage.
See, when that came out, I was still pretty young, and we had went to a double feature drive-in movie. And the first movie was a kids movie, totally like a Disney movie or something like that. And then,
They were hoping the kid would be asleep by then.
well, that was my parents' plan too. Was okay, your movie's over, just lay down in the back seat and go to sleep. Needless to say, I did not go to sleep, and I was traumatized.
Rue, you're now about to tell the story of why you get called Rue. You said you would tell that the next story time.
I will.
And would you finish up my wall and just use this very last bit of plaster? I'll do it.
Okay.
You're working on your thing. Move the camera over so you don't miss yours. Move that camera on over.
Wow, you were like hopping along there for a second. Okay, so the story of why I'm called Rue, which I say it's a long story. It's not actually that long of a story, but so when I was, I don't know, in my early 20s, I went to motorcycle mechanic school. And when I went to, I might have let this harden too long. When I went to motorcycle mechanics school, there I had a ton of roommates, as you do when you're trying to go to, a school. And like a ton of roommates. We had, I would say, probably 11 people living in a 2-bedroom. I totally let this harden too long. So I should do that. But 11 people living in a 2-bedroom apartment. And while that's all fine and good and totally cramped and everything, I actually had 4 roommates, all named Andrew. So we had Andy, we had AJ, we had Drew, we had Andrew, and one of my very, very, very good friends started calling me Andy Rue. Eventually, the Andy dropped off, the Rue stayed. It's been 20 years. So, that is how I became Rue. And now you know. And knowing is half the battle. Ugh. The H-Man. I don't think I know that movie. And I have not seen the new Pet Sematary. Stephen King's Sleepwalkers. I like that one. Do you have mandibles for the insect blank? I don't know what you mean by that one. G.I. Joe. Is that the... I'm lost. Kayla Rue, Mama Rue. No tater salad for the name. It was not named for a kangaroo. Nope, just my very good friend decided to call me Andy Roo. Eventually, Andy dropped off. Oh, and also, my wife's name is Andy, also, who we were dating at the time, so she was Girl Andy on top of it all.
I was really hoping that Beastman would be ready to pull by the end of this video. But he had
I
not.
totally let that
You were talking.
No, I wasn't talking. I went to put it on and it was already too late.
Well, then just mix up a little bit, and you still use that as your leg,
Yeah.
but just make a wad for that
Move
to
that
sit
on.
on.
Yep.
Okay.
One more second here.
Can we store?
Yeah, I need a sword.
Okay. So, very quickly, story time. Alan's grabbing some stuff. Walpurgisnacht, he asked me to talk to you guys about, was the first, 2014 Dark Hour came up with the amazing idea to do several off-season shows, and one of them that they did was the May show, Walpurgisnacht, which had some challenges because, number one, a lot of the shows we'd already done, Christmas, St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's Day, were all associated with a holiday. There was no holiday in May to latch onto. So I think Walpurgisnacht had the biggest uphill climb. But guys, it was a beautiful show. And it was so, oh man, I don't know. It was so unique. We had live musicians. We had a violinist playing in the dining room, the big Victorian dining room scene. We had a live guitarist in the graveyard who was just ripping. He had this big full moon behind him. We had a bagpiper in the swamp village, and it was just beautiful. And it was very, very dark and esoteric in kind of a Cirque du Soleil moody kind of way. And I just thought it was beautiful. Now, it's hard to sell a musical haunted house. I'm not talking about musicals like they're on stage musical. But there was live music through the entire show, and it was just beautiful and very unique. But one of the best parts of it was that when you walked out, when you finished the show and you walked out into the lobby, in the lobby we had what was called a dark arts festival, which we asked for.
We called it the Night Gallery.
We called it the Night Gallery, and Ed Gannon, our buddy, was dressed up like Rod Serling, was walking around with an unlit cigarette, looking very skinny tie. Rod Serling, so great. And but people who did unusual art, sculpting, painting, miniatures, all the interesting things that people do, they're just unusual, and especially in May, because Walpurgisnacht, if you don't know, is halfway to Halloween, and that is the witches' holiday. So, at that point, the day we have it, you are halfway to Halloween. And oh my goodness, it was beautiful. And the Dark Arts Night Gallery fair that you walked into helped a lot of local artists who do unusual art. It's not the standard homey arts. It was dark art. It was beautiful.
Never makes it over.
And it was just one of those great shows that I loved it. And I also knew it would have a short life, because you're just not going to appeal to, the majority of people, because a lot of the things we do doesn't appeal to the majority of people unless it's October, and here we are in May. But when I showed my shirt earlier, Walpurgisnacht was a gorgeous, moody, beautiful, lush show that sadly was the first to go when they had to cut shows. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be my favorite forever just because it was so brave. So there you go. There's a story of Walpurgisnacht and the Night Gallery.
Alan's mixing plaster.
We'll turn you around.
Turn around, plaster. Every now and then I make a rock. Turn around, plaster.
Midsummer Night's Scream.
You see how this is a constant rain of plaster, but isn't like falling in clumps and stuff? That's what I aimed for. Are we even? Yeah, we're hitting.
Yeah.
Sunflare. You could open that door if you wanted to.
Keep it breathing.
All right. I over plastered a bit because I want a little bit of a thicker batch. So mine looks like a powdery cracked earth.
Do you have mandibles for insect blank?
We laser cut them out of foam. So yes, I could have them if you just say, hey, can I get some mandibles from you? So yeah.
Ezekiel says, damn it, now I want to play shreddy guitar for dark hours. Sign me. Soul.
Yeah, well,
Walleye fish trip starts tomorrow for Dan McCorson. Where are you going walleye fishing, Dan?
that's awesome.
Almatra says, yes, that's the show I had some art in. I shipped my artwork to you from Connecticut where I was living at the time. Everyone I talked to on social media that went to it said it was a great show.
Awesome. It was a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm gonna get through this half of the mold tonight, and tomorrow I'll mold the other half like normal. But tonight I will get to pull the pins out and pull the mold wall off. This is my last batch of plaster. Alexa, count down 2 minutes.
2 minutes, starting now.
And I'll start some general cleanup on this side here soon.
Ezekiel says he's going to learn to shred guitar on stilts.
Yeah. One of the things that I say a lot is actually stilts are a stage. They're a portable stage. So if you don't have any business being on stage, you probably shouldn't learn, you shouldn't want to perform on stilts. So just be aware that you're going to have extra focus and attention on you. If you're used to being on stage, you'll be fine on stilts.
Have you read anything?
I've been trying to keep up.
Where'd you stop?
I've been reading.
We're caught up.
Actually, yeah, we're caught up.
If we missed something, post it again, because I told my wife we were caught up.
Hey, we are.
Twilight Zone, the movie, had the rabbit.
Yes.
Yeah, that probably works.
I'd probably wait for it to get a little thicker.
No,
So you're going to hold it?
this is still real good and hot, so it's kicking. And it feels good on my hand. Nice warm chunk of rock.
What's today's date?
28.
28th.
Of May.
Yeah.
Just making sure.
It's almost June.
I know,
A YouTube
right?
Wednesday on setting up and adjusting the stilts would be awesome.
Yes, you shall have it. I was actually thinking about that the other day, and I'm like, hey, I'll shoot that one.
Good night, Scott Creighton. Scott Colhart says, can you tell me
Alexa, stop.
how much mandibles for the insect life?
I just throw them in.
Here you go, Scott. The face of the goat looks like it might be a challenge.
Well, I'm going to actually lay it on its back. Once this half of the mold is made, I'll lay it down and I'll mold the goat face up. That way I don't have any air bubbles catching up under here. And now I want a thicker plaster, so I'm actually going to add a little bit more powder to this. While you guys watch Rue. Honey, can they see
You
Rue?
weirdo.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, do you have a favorite theme you guys have done?
Yeah, I'm partial to our werewolf show. We do a haunted house in July called Dog Days of Summer. And yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite one.
Ditto.
I like
And Krampus. And St. Patrick's Day.
You like the what, honey?
Kind of in that order.
black and white. Or black
Oh.
and orange.
Well, yeah. Um, I don't picture the goat talking very much. Now, I will do a version of this with an actual moving jaw. So in that one, when they move their mouth, the jaw on the goat will open.
Dan, of course, is trying to tend to walleye fishing. He says that 7 Beavers, the headwaters lake of the St. Louis River, is very backcountry and walleye fishing against him.
Nice.
That sounds wonderful.
Dan, he's got work to do.
That's right.
You think the bottom of the goat mask will distort around the actor's chin when they talk?
I don't picture goat monsters talking a lot, so probably not an issue. If they wanted to speak in the mask, I'm sure that the hair on it, because remember this is going to be a fully haired mask, would stop that from being an issue. And also, I intend on doing a moving jaw version of this, where when the actor moves their mouth, the goat's mouth will move. The one that I am doing as a commission from this, which is why I had to sculpt a goat, it was my idea to make it a 3-eyed goat, is the moving jaw type. This is just a bit of extra plaster here. I kind of make a reinforced spine. Now, Rue, did you check that level? Because I worry that that's not quite level and that it's going to be at an angle. Grab a yardstick from right beside the door.
Close.
My
I'll
TV
vault
says
it. I gotta admit.
the boss sound is really where I was going with that. Richard McGrath, I've made another pig out of the same mold, but I've
Not a
turned
yard
it to
stick.
a
Turned into what? No, I'm waiting. Go ahead.
made another pig out of the same mold, but I've turned
That was
it
fine.
into a demon pig,
fine.
with horns and blood and maggots. I'll post it on the Facebook page later.
Cool.
This says, how many different
There you go.
themes do you have going in the haunt?
Each show is one theme. Each show is one theme. So if you go through the show, then you're going through one theme. Now we have 2 haunts, so you might see 2 different themes, but you have gone into the other haunt at that point in time. We have made like a 3-footed stool here out of his mold, so that when we flip it over, we want to fill it with latex and such. It's going to sit stable.
Not a total pain of being crazy like. Just missed the shoe.
Right there. Okay, guys, we're really close on this one. The back half of the goat is done. I will probably not pull those pins out tonight. It is 11 o'clock.
Do you also sell any masks or novelties at the end of the haunt?
We have a gift shop. We mostly sell haunted house merchandise. We do make all of our own masks at dark hour, but those are for our show. We're probably going to start selling masks this Halloween, in all honesty. But we had not really up until this point done that.
How many layers of plaster do you do?
So I do a polish coat, a detail coat where I put on the detail. I get all the details trapped in plaster, and I want to make enough plaster to where that's going to be about 1/4 of an inch thick, and then I go to a burlap coat where I put burlap into it, and that's what you saw before. And I want to mix up enough of that to do 2 layers of burlap. And then I mix up one more batch, so 3 batches. And that 3rd batch is going to have your, you're going to thicken the wall edges and things. I'm going to pry up against this wall. Let me bring you over here. Rue is polishing his beetle.
Polishing.
Not a euphemism. But this clay that is on here is going to go away. And then I'll be left with an edge of plaster. And I'm going to mold the other side right up to it. So I'm going to have to get those apart, I have to pry those 2 apart. And when I pry those 2 apart, a lot of stress happens right here. So I want to make sure that this edge is nice and thick. I can go thin back down here on the head, but that edge at least has to be pretty thick.
Any thought on the kids' coloring book idea featuring your masks?
I had not seen that idea yet. It's not a bad idea.
Do you use any construction scaffolding at dark hour for sets, fronts, or facades?
We use them for building every now and then for construction purposes.
Last time there was an orange and yellow cat, this time there's an orange and yellow dog. That's true. We have
That's how we roll.
Richard McGrath says, I'm 6 hours in front of you guys, so that makes me from the future.
You are from the future. I actually saw on something, it was a comment stream, and this was maybe only like 2 or 3 years ago. Wait, Australia's so many hours ahead of us. Why didn't they warn us about 9/11? It's like, but, oh, it's too much to explain. Because they're just mean, that's why.
You didn't get it already?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite examples of stupid. Yeah, we have 2 genie lifts actually at the haunt. One is the personal man genie lift because you got to fit it inside of rooms and things, and then we have a bigger scissor lift.
Are there any plans in the future of doing the Medusa style mask similar to Harryhausen?
No. I don't necessarily have any plans to do that. One day I'll do a Calabos mask because I like that character.
Future's good.
But I hadn't had plans of doing it. Now it may come to pass that I actually need to make one for work if we do a Greek theme or something like that.
Yeah, Greek.
Because I would love to make me some Cyclopses
I was gonna
and
say it.
yeah,
It's like,
Cyclops and
oh,
Minotaur and all this
Oh
other
my
stuff. There's a lot of cool monsters you can make.
I still love that Andrew Freeman's Cyclops
Yeah.
Immortal. Oh,
So,
man.
Rue, put your belly against the table over there.
Yep. These are shredding on me.
Give this guy a hug and just pull him towards you. Great. He's cracked. That means he's not attached to the table. Good job with the Vaseline. I probably wouldn't trust these legs yet to flip it.
Haunted Odyssey theme would be cool.
I have about a 1 inch on all of my mold, and some areas are thicker with a burlap layer being my outer layer. Do you think I need to make it thicker?
No, if you have an inch over everything, then you're fine.
1980 says lots of satyrs. ES says a haunted Odyssey theme would be pretty cool.
That is one of my dream haunted houses that I want to build. Technically, I have it all designed already, but I want to buy a carnival traveling log flume ride,
Oh, yeah.
and then you set it up inside of a big metal building, and then you add flat track to where, you know, the flat, so they go through all the boats. They have the chute drop as a scare, but theme it after the River Styx. So there's Charon, there's the Cerberus, you know, but it's all like Greek hell and mythology figures. And so that's kind of
Cool.
like the Odyssey theme.
That would be way too
I
much.
think I've mentioned that before. That's one of my dream haunts that I want to build. Just working this plaster while it dries. Go ahead.
130 yards of wood chips coming in next week for walking paths through our haunted trails, says Dan.
Awesome. Love haunted trails. Just sort of petting my goat mold. Cheney, don't eat that.
Have you ever done anything like a Dante's Inferno?
Yes, I built a whole Dante's Inferno haunted house once. It was fun. Yeah, I'm real close to wrapping up on this guy. All right, so our plaster has to cure, but it has kind of gotten late. So I'm going to spray down this half of the goat and get it covered. I'll finish this guy tomorrow. This mold is done. We'll crack it and pull it tomorrow. Plaster's just still a little too soft. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with us. Wife? Well, Rue, say goodnight.
Good night, Rue.
Wife, that's not even what I said. Wife, say goodnight.
Good night.
And I always say, thanks for hanging out. Go make stuff.